works right now. Check. Yeah, what now?
That's perfect. Thank you very much.
All right.
What is your name, by the way? Gabor.
Gabor.
Okay. Okay, Gabor. Nice to meet you. All right. We've got a special guest with us, Olivia Piana, 2 gold medals in 2019 and in Qingdao. We were really expecting to see her on the water today, but she decided to just come and with us in the booth and enjoy the show. How are you, Olivia?
I'm good, thanks. I'm happy to be here, even if I'm not racing on the elite division. So I changed my job. SUPing, I coached the development camp 2 days before the event. I'm super happy to be here with you guys commentating the race. First time for me, will be fun. And then racing on the inflatable board tomorrow at midday.
Fantastic. And we might have another guest later on today. Suzak Molinero said she would come and say hi. Yes. She's not participating for different reasons. She's expecting a baby, but her boyfriend and partner in life, partner in crime, Paolo Marconi is definitely going to be on the water. He's actually got a world title in inflatable. Okay, c'est bon. Possible?
Cool. Yeah, that works.
Okay.
We can talk a little bit about last year's, if you guys want.
Sure.
We can talk about the last, because maybe we can do a prediction with you, because the ladies is other than Fiona.
There's just one thing to remember, very important. We always need, like I turned around and that was a mistake. People are watching this and are expecting to, it's not just a competition. We see Michael Booth, Michael Booth is actually warming up right now, you know. Obviously there's some intro where there's going to be some images, but we need to focus on that.
Do they film us or not?
No camera on us.
Yeah, we can poke our ear, we can poke our nose, no problem.
Which is less pressure. Let's make sure that we... I can see that. Oh, Olivia, sorry to interrupt, but I can see that, tu vois, comme ça.
Yeah, sur l'écran. C'est cool, hein?
Cool, c'est bien.
Ouais.
Nice.
At what time do we start?
So it's going to be the 4 of us.
9.
So it's going to be the 4 of us in here for the entire day.
No. And then
I don't. Can I? That's a good point because I don't.
Okay. See you. Yeah. See you there.
As a matter of fact, behind the scenes,
20 B Föret 21. Okay, let's hope this works. Wi-Fi.
welcome to today's office with Podium and Olivia. We are in this commentator booth pretty much for most of the day, so that's why we're not going to have any live interviews here from our own. But look at this. This is our office for today. How cool is this? We can already see guys out there. It's all like straight into the sun. So turn the camera out there. Guys are already training because we are not too far away from the start. We are looking, what's the timer now? Or even the other time. In 20 minutes, we have the long distance final, and we are going to be commentating right out of this booth. How cool is this?
Wow. I've got the so this is open men. We need to open 2 basically.
This is for you. The all-electric EQ.
So
The names of the races and what?
they'll show up on the screen, but you can, if you've got your phone. Maybe have that page.
Mono blue, huh?
Yeah, it's an element of surprise.
Yeah, we need to know the number. I need to know the number of this person and the name attached to it. Otherwise, I talk. I mean, I can tell how Connor pedal. Yeah, I know that. You know. Yeah, I know Andre is on the SIC, so you can tell. But otherwise.
Yeah, you've got lots of. Normally, you've got lots of information on the screen. So. Start procedure.
So what's the race?
Sorry?
18 kilometers.
The course 18.5 triangle shaped.
I can see nothing.
So good night last night. 3:30, 4:30. I spoke to Zazik, the Zazik guy.
What party?
Clubbing?
Oh, in the hotel there.
Hey Gabor, can you hear us? Hi Gabor, can you hear us? I'd like to know what time we actually start. Attends, j'ai aucune eau quoi. Non.
Hey, how can we talk without them hearing us? How can you turn off the mic?
I turn off the mic, I don't know.
So if I want to say something to you that is not meant for the live stream.
Okay, good. Hey Gabor, Lajos.
for me it's this.
Because you're right. If by any chance we're online right now, everybody can hear us. That's stupid.
Yes.
So
is
maybe that.
Am I talking to the director now, Gabor?
Yeah,
can you hear me? This is my
reply.
commentator too. Is it time to say good morning?
Hi Gabor, can you hear us?
Valakinek szólós, valakinek csípős, de a bubisságát mindenki extrán bírni fogja. Kóstold meg az új, meglepően szénsavas Szent Királyi Extra dóst.
Laci, segítsek! De fotózzanak?
Nem kell, köszi, csak bankolok. Nekem így kényelmes.
A Granit Banknál akkor és ott bankolsz, amikor és ahol csak szeretnél. Töltsd le mobil alkalmazásainkat, intézd ügyeidet online, próbáld ki te is a Granit Bankot. Akár selfie számlanyítással is. Granit Bank, a digital.
Vagy tudod mit? A 17-re menjünk a rozsdáékéra. Azoknak úgy csinálsz a 10-et. Jó, adod át, beállítom, aztán majd visszaadom. Vagy nálam van 2, beállítom mind a 2-t arra, aztán majd mondok egyet. Megyek a Füribás nálam, viszem, és hiszem, hogy rászolom, jó?
I guess if we do this, we're not on air.
Yeah, because now Gabor can hear us.
Gabor, can you hear us? Guys, can you hear us? No, we don't have any instruction
Good morning.
from the Obi-Wan.
We're very excited to have the distance race starting in 10 minutes with the open men and 40 plus men. A few reminders, updates. start line, as you can see, is between two yellow buoys that say start on them. The start signal will be a horn and a red flag at the same time from the stationary start boat that will be out in front of you right in the middle. If there is a false start, it will be two of those horn blasts. Then you will regroup and the flag will go back up. There are aligners and people on the pontoon that will be deciding when you are ready and lined up with noses behind that yellow line, imaginary line between the two yellow buoys. Drafting is allowed between each start group. Drafting is allowed. Excited to get started. It looks like we have almost everybody through ID control. So if the first group, as you already are, will start moving towards that finish line and finding your place. Ladies who are in the second group that will be leaving in line 10, please stay on the other side of the pontoon lining up until we do the start. And
check, can you hear us, guys?
Third and fourth starts. Please wait on the far side of the pontoon until the race
Commentator B,
start in front of
commentator
you
B,
has
checking.
Thank you and best of luck. It's going to be a great morning.
Jó reggelt kívánok, tisztelt Hölgyeim és Uraim! Újból szeretettel és tisztelettel köszöntöm Önöket itt az ICF szakvilág.
Good morning, everyone. 21 ICF SUP World Championships. We are in the perfect venue, Lake Balaton, in the town of Balatonfüred in Hungary, an hour and a half southwest of Budapest, to organize probably the biggest international SUP event of the year. I am Mathieu Astier from TotalSup.com. I am joined by Mike Yoker from Stand Up Magazine, and I've got a special crew behind us that I'm going to introduce in a minute. We are so excited to be here, aren't we, Mike?
Yes, we are, and we are enjoying an absolutely awesome view of a starting line on this nice morning here. There has been a little bit of a breeze coming up in the last half an hour, coming, I want to say, out of the east-southeast. That will make for very interesting conditions here today, and there's a lot of guys are lining up right here, so it's going to be super exciting. There's former champions, there's newcomers, there are different classes of racers, there's hobby paddlers, so it's going to be super cool. I think you guys are going to see right now the start line. Everybody's getting lined up, so yeah, Mathieu, really stoked to be here. It's awesome. We have our two lovely co-commentators here. We have Suzak from Spain, and we have Olivia Piana de France.
Hey guys.
Bonjour, madame.
Bonjour. Good morning.
3 minutes to start, everybody back.
So Olivia Piana, 2 gold medals in the last ICF SUP World Championship in Qingdao, China, in the sprints. That was a huge surprise, actually, even for her, to her first sprint competition that she won actually pretty easily, I have to say. And she also won the technical race. And we've got Suzak Molinero, who's a silver medalist from Qingdao. The two are here. They should be on the water, and they're not participating. They've got different reasons. Suzak Molinero is about to be a mother for the first time. But
congratulations.
Congratulations, Suzak. But her partner in life, Paolo Marconi, is actually on the water right now from Italy. And Olivia Piana is with us, but tell us why you're here, not on the water, Olivia.
She's spoiling a lot. No, yeah.
She's discovered the spoiling. That's why.
I will be on the inflatable race tomorrow, guys.
Okay, so racing, but on inflatable tomorrow on the 10K run. So as you can see, the athletes are getting ready. We've got a huge lineup. I noted down some 20 names that could potentially be on the podium today. We've got 51 countries represented in this event. Hence, we can claim this is the largest international event of the year. Probably going to be unmatched in the coming month. Look at this view, Mike. This is absolutely amazing. Check out the color, emerald green. That's really the typical color of these Lake Balaton waters.
Yeah, it's a great lake, and it's quite interesting, this lake. I wrote down some stats here. It's huge. It's Europe's largest lake, and it is, interestingly enough, it is not that deep. It's only about 12 meters deep, and its top average depth 3 meters. So very interesting and beautiful lake. As we can see, the starters are getting ready. Everybody's lining up.
Absolutely. The starboard guys are here. The dream team is here with Daniel Studio.
Look at Noik.
Michael Booth. Noik Gayu is in the mix, of course. Actually, he started racing yesterday. We had a big day of racing yesterday with technical races and the sprints all day long for the open men and women. We went all the way to the quarterfinals yesterday in both events. And we didn't have any live broadcast yesterday, so I did my little thing, and Mike as well on our social media pages, Stand Up Magazine and Total SUP. All right, Christine Thomas is our race director for the day. Okay, the white flag is up.
Off they are. All right, very cool. Amazing. Look at that start.
Okay, I see an NSP board there. Probably Titouan Pouillot, actually. Titouan Pouillot has got a great start. I'm pretty sure that's him. Obviously, we're going to have a closer shot. This is
Paolo Marconi.
Paolo Marconi. Great start on the RD board over there. Leo Nika is in the mix for sure, but it looks like Titouan Pouillot with his characteristic stroke, super wide stroke, as you can see, is in the lead with Noik Gayu on the Sanova board from New Caledonia. So 2 New Caledonians in the top 5. We've got Clément Colmas. And
it doesn't look like on the video, but it's pretty windy. Like the wind is coming to the side, so like Titu is very good on this condition. So yeah, I think.
Yeah, the New Caledonians are actually very good in these conditions, and we've got 3 of them today. We've got Titouan Pouillot, of course, we've got Clément Colmas, and we've got Noik Gariou. They like it when it's a little bit bumpy, and they can make the most of the slightest little swell. Here we have Mr. Zamana on the Focus Hawaii board, California Israeli brand. I'm looking for Michael Booth because this is probably the event that Superstar Michael is going for out of the 2 events that he's taking part in.
He's got a big title to defend.
He's got a big title to defend, of course. He's the ICF champion in the long distance from 2019, and he's coming back to defend his title. Michael had a pretty good year actually in terms of competing. He's taking part in a few surf ski competitions. He was always on the podium, and he also won in SUP racing the 12 Towers competition in Australia, and he actually managed to get out a few weeks ago from heavily restricted Australia right now. The context over there is pretty difficult, but he managed to get out a few weeks ago, and he had a couple of Euro Tour races that he actually won.
Yeah, Denmark recently.
And Prague, and this is his event, the long distance. So we definitely expect a big battle actually between 4 guys. I think that the big battle should take place if the odds are respected. The big battle should take place between Titouan Pouillot, Michael Booth, and the Asciulio brothers, Daniel on Starboard and Bruno Asciulio on the X-Bionics. Throw in the mix Leonika, Andrei Krater from Russia, Paolo Marconi, Norman Weber from Germany, who's always getting better in long distance, Noé Gariou, Ludovic Tolat, Tom Aubert, Itzel Delgado, Davide Alpino from Italy. You've got the whole Spanish Armada as well, with lots of young racers, the likes of Rafael Sirvent, Enrique Furtado, Antonio Morillo. You know all of them, Suzak. What's happening in Spain?
They're coming up super well. They are like becoming stronger always, and it's a good thing to be here, no? To battle with the top guys in the world. So maybe they can say something.
Absolutely, and they are fearless, those Spaniards, and they're all over the place. They are in both the open division, but also in the junior division. It sounds like you've got a school overall all over Spain. It's not just one area of Spain. It looks like whether it's Cantabria, Andalusia, Mallorca, or the Canaries, or even around Barcelona, you've got very, very good young paddlers between the age of 15 and 20, and they're all here. They all showed up. All right.
Yeah, so he's surfing a little bump.
Okay, we're a bit against the light here, but we can see Titouan Pouillot and Michael Booth part of with Noé Gariou. By the look of it, in breaking away from the rest of the pack in a 3-man.
You can see the paddle technique of the Cagou, as we say.
Cagou, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what we call people in New Caledonia.
Big bumps are coming, huh?
Yeah.
And yes, you would expect some glassy conditions. Actually, when I arrived here at 7 o'clock, it was super glassy, but the wind started picking up, and check this out. This is not glassy at all, and these are perfect conditions for the New Caledonians. Yeah, absolutely. This is a triangle-shaped course map. It's an 18.5 kilometer race, and basically the athletes started with an 800-meter straight line, reaching the first buoy of a huge triangle, which is about 3 kilometers aside, and they're going to turn right. They actually have turned right already to start in that first triangle side, aiming for the second buoy, and they're going to have to do that 2 laps of that triangle and then come back, take a left buoy turn, and then it'll be a 200 or 100 meter sprint potentially to the finish line. All right.
Yeah, it's nice. And from here, from the window, you can't see it in the camera. You can see how the field is really starting to spread out with the pack in the back. And then we have the 3 guys, we have the 4 guys really starting to get into this, a little bit of a downwind lag, I want to say, as they're turning right, and they will disappear here behind our marina. And here you can get this beautiful aerial view, and you can see the bumps coming from their port side. So they will appreciate a little bit of a downwind lag there. And once they turn, then they will be fighting into these bumps. And then I'm like looking really forward to when they are coming back here and they're going to be close to us, how everything is turning out. But look at this, it looks really great.
Yes, I haven't seen the Asulio brothers.
Yeah, and we miss Andre. We haven't seen Andre either.
Absolutely.
Definitely dark horse potential right there. Possibly no more dark horse after this weekend. And I'm sure the Asulio brothers will be super stoked to bring some sort of a title home here to their home turf. After all, in 2019, both of them arrived within the same minute behind Michael Booth. Bruno was only 13 seconds behind, and Daniel was 33 seconds behind the leader back then. So I'm sure they'll be very, very happy to close their open tab on this one. But we have a lot of newcomers here that we haven't seen in 2019. And as you said, Mathieu, Titouan Pouillot is a big candidate here to mix up and stir up the field.
Well, it's a very peculiar race start, I have to say. I don't see any draft shaping up, and that's probably because of the water condition. It looks more like an upwind, downwind, sidewind race. And we've got the first stats coming up. The countries are actually appearing right now on your screens. I'm looking forward to seeing the actual top guys. At the top, we have the 2 New Caledonians, Titouan Pouillot and Noé Gariou, 2 very, very strong downwinders, but not only. Both of them are also very good sprinters and technical racers. They are definitely all-round racers. And Noé Gariou, is on the Sonova board right here, told me yesterday, confessed that the main event that he was going for in this competition was the sprints, the 200-meter sprints. This is his main event, and that makes him definitely one of the favorites for the sprints. Someone else is also going for the sprints, and that's Connor Baxter from Maui, who did not show up in the long distance today. He's getting very, very picky about the races that he wants to take part in, and the other one is definitely Claudio Nica. Okay, we should probably have a look at the women right now, because they are getting ready. They are 1 minute away from the start. We still have the red flag up for the women. Basically, the start procedure is like this. We've got 3 different starts today. The open men and 40-plus men, which started about 9 minutes ago already, and coming up, the open women and 40-plus women, and then we will have a 3rd round of departure in 10 minutes, and that will be the 50-plus men and women and junior men and women. They have a different course for the last for this last heat, and that's going to be a 10K race, so basically just one triangle lap. And also in the women, we've got some big names coming up. There's going to be some big battles. We expect, among others, a big battle.
And the women start, guys.
And
the women are starting. We should definitely have that on our screen.
There they are. We can see the drone footage behind the starting list, and off they are. And which brings me maybe like to the girls back here. We had Olivia being 2nd in China and Suzak coming in on 4th. Any predictions there, ladies? Anything? What do you think? What's going to be the big battle here coming up between?
Big battle, I think, like Fiona, April Zilk, Espe Barreras from Spain.
Yeah,
great start by Fanny Tessier from France.
Russia. Natalia from Russia is doing Fanny Tessier.
April Zilk on your screen right there.
Caterina Stenta from Italy. Laura Ketglas from Spain too.
Yes.
Yeah, it seems that Fiona got a good start.
Fiona got a very good start. Actually, she's probably the most informed woman at the moment on the international SUP race scene. She's made a couple
of... SP is just following it.
Yeah.
Fiona loves the start, the fast start, so it's not a surprise.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
She loves also the downwind, so I think she saw the guy enjoying the run out there, and so she's like, yeah, let's go for it.
You're right, Olivia. It could be a day for downwinders today, and we know
that like small.
Fiona, we know
the
that
of the downwind and the box.
Absolutely, we know that Fiona Wilde loves a good downwind. Obviously, we're not the swell size is not to the same extent as the Hood River conditions.
Sure.
Fiona Wilde's won 7 times the gorge.
She's super strong.
Downwind challenge.
She's
in her hometown of Hood River in Oregon. She's absolutely a beast when it comes to chasing bumps. And Olivia, have you competed in downwind conditions
in the gorge?
against?
It's so technical
Fiona?
and so specific, and she's home there, so she's like the boss of the of the gorge, and we are like, hey, see you later.
I think she won by something like 4 minutes in the last edition, last month.
It's very, very technical, and Fiona has the power to start on the bump, like when we are like facing the current of the river, and it's a mix of many skills, and she has it. So
you can see a three-woman draft shaping up right now with one paddler on the side. Fiona Wilde is still in front, so 2 starboards are in front right now. I saw Fanny Tessier, one of the...
I think it's April Zilg and Espe Barreras behind.
Absolutely. Fiona Wilde, Esperanza Barreras, and on the right-hand side, actually there's a 4-4, so that's April Zilg. So there's probably some shoulder-to-shoulder action right now going on between Esperanza Barreras and Fiona Wilde. Actually, Fiona Wilde and Esperanza have met a lot in the last 2-3 months in competitions, and I have to say the advantage is definitely for Fiona so far. In different Euro Tour competitions.
Espe won one time. I don't remember the race. But
That's right. That's right. Esperanza won one time. Esperanza has got a world title under a different federation from 2019, and she's kind of a newbie really in the sport.
Yeah, totally. And she were like very, very strong in Corsica last year.
Yeah.
She just beat us from far, Sonny and me, and let's see, because sometimes athletes are getting focused for this event. So
I think this is Elena Prokhorova on the right-hand side, the Russian from on a Sonova there. There's actually a couple of athletes in this women's race that we could call them dark horses. We don't know much about them. I have the feeling they've got a very strong canoe kayak background. Actually, Elena Prokhorova boasts of 22 gold medals on her Instagram, but I have no idea what these medals are for. Probably a mix of different things, because I know that she's doing really well on the Russian SUP racing scene. So you probably have some stand-up paddle medals in there. There's another Russian that's very good. That's Natalia Novitskaya. I wonder if she's going to show up at the front of this race. But so far, Fiona Wilde's got it under control, Mike.
I am pretty sure that's going to be a very safe bet there with Fiona. And I just looked up Natalia. She made 3rd in Prague, so she's putting her name out there in the Euro Tour for sure. And also with Esperanza, we were talking about her earlier. I pulled up some stats on her. After all, she was number 1 at the ICE race in Switzerland. She won in Greece and the Nordhausen race in Germany, and then pretty much all the other races that she wasn't on the podium, it pretty much went to Fiona. 2019 she was 5th all over in the Euro Tour. So we are definitely going to see a very interesting place shaping up. Yeah,
she already got some bumps, and she's leaving. Look at that. Bye, girls.
Well, actually, April Zilg, who's a pretty pretty good downwinder as well. April Zilg, who's both an OC1 racer and a SUP racer, is hanging on to that second place right now. It's going to be a long. Ooh, Fiona missed a stroke there and lost balance for a microsecond. So Fiona Wild first, followed by April Zilg, Esperanza Barreras, and I think this is Elena Prokhorova on the right hand side on the Sonova. I hope I'm not. Obviously, I don't know all the. There are so many new faces. We could be making mistakes. So I really look forward to having some stats showing up on our screen just to confirm what we are seeing. But there are other girls in this competition that we should probably talk about right now. I'm actually very surprised by the form level of Petronella van Malsen from the Netherlands. Has she been that good over the years? I mean, she's always been in the top 10, but recently she's been more of a top 5 European racer. And I saw her on the sprints yesterday. Wow, she did look very, very good.
She was 4th in Prague and 3rd in Nordhausen on the Euro Tour, and Euro Tour overall in 2019 came in at 7th. So Petronella is definitely a force to reckon with no questions asked.
Yeah, and throw in the mix Fanny Tessier, who's definitely a long distance SUP racer. She's got 2 French titles in long distance. She's actually going for a 3rd one, hopefully for her this year. The French Championship is actually taking place next month. You've got Anna Turkey from Switzerland, who's is also a newbie, very young girl, very talented girl.
She's doing really well too.
She's awesome. I actually happened to meet her at the Pacific Paddle Games in 2018, and she won the junior race there. And I was very, very surprised when they announced a person from Switzerland on the podium. So she is training a lot and making her name in the Swiss SUP Tour. So really good to see her.
Back to the men's race. If what we're seeing are the 2 men in front, well, New Caledonia is definitely sending a message to the rest of the athletes right here with an NSP board and a Sonova board. That's Titouan Pouillot on the left of your screen, and Noé Gariou, aka Chicken. That's his last name. Chicken, who doesn't look like a chicken anymore. You know, you could say that 5 years ago when he was 15.
He's a big chicken.
He's a big chicken now.
Look at that, how he glides, it's incredible.
There's definitely some good glides going on today. You can see Titouan relaxing a little bit. That's because he's just gliding for a few meters. Titouan had a pretty good run yesterday in the quarterfinals of the technical race. He had a 50-meter lead over the rest of the crowd, and the conditions were similar. He was gliding the technical race course. You're gonna love this. It's a 1 kilometer race course. All the action is taking place on Saturday for that. And you've got 7 buoys, and they are numbered, so you can't make a mistake.
Very cool. And we are looking here right now at the start screen with an awesome drone shot of our Grand Masters, if I'm not mistaken. And look at the turnout, by the way. I just want to look at the turnout and how many paddlers we have. I don't have a number count, but I would say by now there's about 250 paddlers out on this lake already. So great to see this many people paddling from all over the world, from 51 all age classes. It's super, super cool to see this great turnout, and makes me really happy. SUP is well and alive, people, not just foiling, Olivia.
Absolutely. There's actually a big debate going on. You know, we've got mixed.
No, but it's just about that. Like everyone wants to race, but it's just about do you want to train hard for that? You know, and SUP racing is needs a lot of training before, and well,
no joke.
Today I'm more foiling than SUP racing, so I'm like, let's do it on the inflatable.
Right, so the juniors, so something to know about the juniors. The ICF has decided to put the juniors on inflatable, 12-6 inflatable. And that's why some of the under 18 guys have decided to go in the open division, and that's the case of Bodie Van Almen and Thomas Nielsen and other guys from Spain. Great start, actually very fast start. You've got the 50 plus men and women right here and the juniors. So the two most extreme generations of this event are in the same race. They're all going for a 10K race, so basically aiming for that first buoy 800 meters away on a straight line. Then they take a right turn, they do a full triangle and back to Balatonfüred and to the finish line, and that will be a 10K race. This is, I believe, Danny Paris. Okay, Danny Paris. I thought that was Salva. Salva Mora, maybe, but you know your stuff. You're Spanish, Susac. There's definitely the Spaniards are basically in every single category, men and women, and it's very impressive. All right, so obviously we've got some less competitive guys who showed up just for the sake of showing up and enjoying the views and the show. So at the back of this race, but some you've got at the front. You've got some very serious contenders and who take this competition very seriously. And I think that's absolutely amazing to have these 40 plus and 50 plus categories, because that gives the chance of some very strong nationals to come and aim for a potential podium, a first place, and some of them are actually here for the second time at an ICF competition and ready to defend their title.
Yeah, they take a lot of pride in it. There is definitely from my home turf or part of my home turf from Germany. There's a lot of masters out there. One to look for is the organizer of actually the Alps Trophy. His name is Gerd Weisner, 50-year-old plus paddler, showing so many times in the local races the guys of half of his age on how it's being done. So there's some strong men out there, and they have stamina.
Absolutely.
That's another thing. You see that a lot. I feel like in long distance, it seems to be something where a lot of guys become better at a progressed age, I want to say, because there is so much going on in your head. Because I think a long distance race is not just a muscle game, it's also a head game.
Well, actually, for most of these guys, 10K is a joke. You know, lots of these guys are actually used to very long distances, and actually that's a trend that we see definitely in Europe. Lots of long distance distances. So we've got a replay of the men's start with Leonika over there in the background. I can see Titouan Pouillot, Clément Colmas, and
the Canoe are still leading the race. Look at that, it's so beautiful
so nice.
Out there.
Now we get to see how it looks behind, right around the corner here from the marina by the peninsula there. And are they already on the way back, looking at the bumps the way they run, or are they still on the way out? Can you guys tell where they are on the course?
I think they are still on the way down.
Must be.
Or they are gliding upwind.
Or they're gliding upwind.
But they looks like
paddling. I don't know where they are, but it looks like there's a big gap behind them. It'd be great if the camera could turn around and see what's happening in the back. I would definitely expect Michael Booth to be close by. And the Asciulio brothers, where are they? We haven't seen a single image of them so far.
And we're missing Andre as well.
Andre Crater for sure, but
he's on the Red Nose SIC board, so he should be easy to spot.
Yeah, we could also have some surprises. You know, I quite like this one French sub racer that I quite like. His name is Ludovic Tolad, and he's got 2 long distance titles in France. He's strangely enough, he's not really known on the international scene, but that's because he didn't show up too much on the international events. But in France, he's killing it, and he did again last week 2 weeks ago in Bordeaux. and taking on two very strong French paddlers. Ethan Brie, like that's one of the new big revelations in France. He's not here today, but Ethan Brie, watch out for him. He's a 15-year-old. He's got his first APP invitation
And
this
Bruno
year.
is coming. Like
Bruno's in third position. That's the news that we wanted to know. Bruno Sulio chasing the two Cagoos. Cagoos, not Cagoon. Cagou are two Cagou in the front. Cagou is the name that we use in New Caledonia to talk about the guys who live there. And New Caledonia, which is French territory, and Noik and Titouan know each other perfectly well. And there's a third New Caledonian
Look at that. That's like
in the mix. That's Clément Colmas, and these guys have been taking part in competitions together in New Caledonia and in France for so long. So what do we see here? Bruno Sulio in third, then Michael Booth in fourth, or is that Daniel Sulio? We are against the light, so very difficult to make out who's in fourth. I can see Stéphane Guillermin from Switzerland, long distance SUP racer. So that starboard board, could that be Michael? It looks like Michael. What do you think, girls?
I'll go with Michael.
So potentially Michael Booth in fourth. Can you zoom in, guys, so we can? Oh, could be Clément Colmas. Could be Clément Colmas.
yeah.
Interesting. Not to be clear about
It's super hard to
where Michael Boothy is right now. Obviously, we've got 18.5 kilometers to go in this long distance race, and a lot could happen, especially given that these guys are not following the same draft. They're all choosing a different line. Right now, Noik is in front of Titouan Pouillot. There's a 3-board length actually already. Watch out, Titouan, not to let Chicken escape too quickly. There's a lot of unknown actually in this competition because of the COVID situation. We've so many postponed races, so many cancelled races, and so many no races for a lot of these guys. And Noé Gaillou actually started competing really seriously again after 2 years. Only yesterday, believe it or not, he showed up at an event in the southwest of France, the Loire Paddle Trophy, just 1 week ago. But that was more of a fun event than a serious competition. So yesterday it just showed that he was in great shape. But he had a bit of a scare. I don't know if you followed that yesterday in the quarterfinals of the sprint. He had an amazing start. He had a 30-meter lead in a 200-meter race, and he fell 10 meters away from the finish line. He was probably lost focus, just thinking that he was ahead. I can see
it's Fanny Tessier.
Fanny Tessier right on our screen, one of the best long-distance SUP racers. Be interesting to see in what position she is right now. These are good conditions for her, actually. So just to finish off on Noik, he fell yesterday and he recovered luckily, but that was a close call. And I guess a good call, a good reminder to not lose focus. These are the World Championship. A lot could happen in no time, in a microsecond. A big mistake could happen.
And it's nice to have some downwind actually, because on the lake, like, you can have some wind, but this morning it looks nice outside.
April Zilg is in there. Yona Rivet, one of the up-and-coming French.
And where is Fiona?
Way in front, probably.
Yeah.
All right, so April Zilg is still there. Is April Zilg still in second position?
Yeah, I think so. Yona in third, and Laura.
Wow.
And maybe SP. We haven't seen SP and Fiona, so maybe they are in front. That's great to see Yona paddling very good, like very well, like that.
And another start.
Oh, so there's okay. So they separated the 50 plus men and women by the look of it. I actually followed the briefing yesterday, and I'm pretty sure they said there was a three start procedure. So looks like the 50 plus women and the junior women are starting right now. Yes, you've got some young faces in there. And some not so young faces in there.
So the inflatables are clear. Is this
Duna Gordillo from Mallorca. This is super strong.
So
and
what's
they're
happening in
together
Mallorca?
with the 14 plus, no? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the first
50 plus, and junior women are racing together.
The first girl is like Duna Gordillo from Mallorca.
Fantastic. There's the school of supping is huge in Mallorca. Tell us what's happening over there.
They are super strong. This girl, I know all the guys from there, and I think now she's 18, and I meet her that she was like 12 or something.
Yeah, I remember.
Paddling strong from I don't know, but
yeah, with Flora.
They have a lot of years in the back.
It's great to see so many junior on the races, because this is the future of the sport. So it's good to mix the future with the 14 plus.
Yeah, Spain's got something right these days. I mean, from the beginning, they're really in different areas. They really went for SUP schools. And Laura Kedglas and Mr. Simon said, is it Mark? Who basically started Mar Balear, which is a SUP club, and not just in Mallorca, but in different parts of the of Spain, and the
Canoe
result.
too with the next team, yeah.
Counting 35 people from Spain, that's a contingency right there. That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
One of the larger teams actually here in this competition.
Yes.
There is a good future in Spain.
Yes, and it's so much about nurturing the future and the juniors all together. As we're back on the screen here with
Woman again.
Yeah, Yona Rive. Wow, Yona is really impresses me.
Yona paddling like the Canoe. Look at that.
Behind you.
She's got the T1 style, doesn't she?
With the
Actually,
MSP.
she's got the Olivia Piana style. Yeah.
But I got the T2. She got mine, and it's like a chain. You know?
Wow. you know what? These images are amazing. If you want to learn how to paddle, you just replay this over and over, and you look at your preferred paddler, and you see exactly what they do. I really like the shape of that stroke actually. What can you say about the technique right now that she's using?
We can't say that so much, but she's pushing very well on the legs. Like she don't like flex and like this movement that many paddlers does, and yeah, she's paddling in crossover and having a proper stroke.
Yeah, it looks like Fiona Wilde has got a 100-meter lead over the maybe less 50-meter lead over the second paddler. It looks, by the look of it, it's April Zil who's behind and Esperanza Barreras. But Yona Rive, Laura Kedglas are not far.
Anna
Go for
Trisky
it.
behind Laura Kedglas.
Oh, you saw Anna Trisky from Switzerland, a 16-year-old, right?
Yeah,
And we haven't seen SP.
And Erika Reville was in there. That's okay. That's interesting. Erika Reville, a French girl, young girl actually, 17, who lives in the Canaries.
I think it's like 19 now.
19, okay. Erika Reville, who's trained by Oscar Riz, right? OR training. Oscar Riz, who's probably on the water right now as well. One of the most involved stand-up paddler. One of the most involved figures in SUP racing in Spain. Oscar Riz, OR training. Fiona Wilde reaching buoy number 2. So that's basically the if I understand this right, the end of the first side of the triangle, right?
Yeah.
Unless she's over here. Oh,
maybe they do a little side now of 3 kilometers. That's it.
Yeah, it's a 3 kilometer side 3 kilometer side triangle, roughly. And yeah, great start. And Fiona, if I don't don't make a mistake. She doesn't have a world title yet. She's got plenty of titles.
This is, look at that, guys.
That's
but
correct.
last 2 years ago, she was. Is that Elena Prokhorova, correct? On the Sonova, Elena, the Russian champ. Difficult to know where she is right now. She is Olga Merkulova. Okay, I don't know this athlete. Going at 6.6 kilometers, so not.
She's strong.
She's got definitely a good stroke there. I'm not sure about the speed though. 6.9. That's not a super fast speed, but she could be facing the wind a little bit right now.
And SP is on the third position. I saw SP.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's SP. I recognize her. Clack. Yeah. So SP third. And yeah, SP, the thing is, she can paddle like that for hours and hours. She's super strong. She has the physique, she has the mental, she has the skills on the balance on the board.
In very little time,
and she can come back on the upwind part for sure.
It's a long time that is paddling, because I remember like from 2014 doing Spanish championships, but she was not training. She was not.
Yeah, she comes from sailing. She used to be an Olympic sailor.
She was, super
before.
strong in sailing. At the beginning.
Yeah, Esperanza Barreras in a very little time, she managed to take on the best athletes in the world: Sonny Hanchid, Olivia Piana, Fiona Wilde. And coming out of nowhere, and it was really in one competition last year, just like Olivia was saying at the Corsica Paddle Trophy, she managed to win all races against you girls. I mean, you were obviously going in the Corsica Paddle Trophy was a bit of a party competition, but there was some serious racing as well in tough conditions. And she managed to win it all.
And SP is training a lot. I spent all the winter in the Canaries, and she lives in Coralejo in Fuerteventura during the winter, and she trained like twice a day, paddling, gym, everything, and with Oscar, his boyfriend, and with his team. And it's great to see like people training up, and the guys, the Kagu, are still leading the race.
That's going to be the bird of the day.
It's so great to see these two friends showing the race like that at the World Championship. I'm so happy for them. It's not because they are French, for sure. And it's awesome. And this place is so beautiful. Look at that.
Absolutely gorgeous. And these are the two New Caledonians that seem to kind of make the race here.
Yeah.
Do we have a GPS tracker up on that note that we could see the entirety of the field? Would be very interesting. We're just about a half an hour into the race here, and it's too early to call, of course, anything, but these two guys are...
The technique of T2
off and on.
Is insane. What?
Just going and
it's
going.
so smooth. Look at that. It looks like effortless.
Yeah,
and
just gliding.
Just gliding there.
Gliding and gliding. With the beautiful peninsula in the back, coming on definitely on the upwind leg now, which it got to be hard, I would say. What's it probably blowing out there? You're familiar with the wind, Olivia. We're talking about 3 to 4 knots of headwind here, pedaling into it.
Yeah.
So that's going to be, and here we have it.
Look at that. The guys are at 7 kilometers, Mathieu. They are not that fast, like Olga, like you say.
6,
no, it's because they are going upwind. So yeah, on the upwind you have to put a good paddle technique on, because like if you are just like struggling against the shop, it's not that efficient. But they know how to do, and Noiki is taking the lead, like he's taking the relay.
what a rhythm these guys have.
Wow,
I'm
it
so
looks
impressed.
like Noik is getting a bit like, okay, T2, let's go. It's now. The like on the distance, you race like for 30 minutes at like, and then at some point you can feel like the flow that we call the flow, like coming. It's a state of mind where you feel like so smooth and light. And I had it a few times, especially at the World Championship, and it looks like Noik is on this mood, you know, like just pushing it and enjoying it, and like okay, I do my best, and I go and I enjoy like to lead this distance race World Championship, and it's unique. Like when you live this kind of moment, you're like, okay, I'm like living the dream.
You're right. You know, Noik Garyu is a bit of a fun guy, but I mean, he is definitely a fun guy.
He's a crazy guy.
Yeah, I'm trying to go politically correct here.
He's as crazy like that, like paddling like crazy. That he's on the lane. It's the same, but like saying like a lot of bullshit.
But he had his game face on yesterday, you know.
Yeah, for sure. He's super focused. He's a worker. He do it like very well, you know. It's his job. He's a waterman. He's a racer, so he works a lot. But he knows also when he has to recover, when he has to joke with friends and enjoying his time. And actually, we are missing his grandmother.
Oh,
you
yes,
know that
absolutely. Grandma.
She's the grandma of our community, and she came like many years in a row, even to the Gorge, to the Euro Tour, and she couldn't come because with New Caledonia it's a bit hard to travel today.
Yeah, so basically Noik's grandma has been part of some of the Euro Tour races, and
that's awesome.
Because Noik was so young. He was 15.
Yeah, it's because
and
he
because
was
he
young,
loves
but
his grandma.
even today they love to share it together, and she's this kind of grandma that you can bring everywhere. She's like, okay, let's go to the bar if you want.
We should make a movie about Noik's grandma.
That's awesome.
So,
she's part of the gang.
Yeah.
So yeah, the New Caledonians in front. Michael Booth has got an 88 meter behind Titouan Pouillot and Noik right now. And we're having a little replay that was the women's start, the open women's start.
Yeah.
With April Zilg in front, Petronella Van Malsen, Fiona Wilde, Holly Pye from England, and who had that best start over there? It might have been Elena Prokhorova. I'm not sure. We need to figure out if this girl that we saw on the Sonoma was part of the Open Women. I'm not so sure about that, but we'll figure it out soon, hopefully.
And the
junior and the 50 plus men. No, 40 plus are racing with the open men, and the junior are racing with the.
It was just to test you, Mathieu.
Good testing. Come on, I can take a challenge.
Wow, so nice to see this girl.
And now the junior girls racing with the 50 plus women. And a lot of energy from those young girls.
A lot of passion too.
Absolutely.
Many of them are coming to me and say, "Hey, I want to be like you. I want to be a professional paddler." And I'm like, "Yeah, you can. For sure, you can. If you want, you can. Just go for it."
That's a good
That's
message.
great to see them.
Yeah. Yeah. So lots of guys and people, men and women, approaching you yesterday and asking for photos and. It's great to have you around, Olivia. It's a shame not to see you on the water actually, and defend your title. But lately you've been more focused on on foiling.
I try to do both, like paddling on the morning and then foiling on the afternoon. But like my body and my mind didn't want that, so I had to make a choice. But I'm super happy to see the guys from outside, and it's so exciting to see like the battle between this group behind certainly Michael Booth, the Asula brother, and Clément Colmas.
Clément Colmas, correct. Finally, we've got some good view.
Chasing our leaders here.
70 meters, so it looks like a group of four.
18 meter back to the lead.
Absolutely. Well, it used to be 88, now it's 70 meters, so apparently they're coming back on the two New Caledonians, and that is likely to be Michael Booth, the Asulu brothers, and Clément Colmas.
And look at that, there is a big wave coming behind. Hello, it's me! The motorboat, wow, the motorboat in this sport like make the difference. But yeah, it's the same situation for everybody.
Yeah, that could.
But for sure, it will help the guy from behind to come back to the lead.
Absolutely. So we've got the two Asulu brothers, shoulder to shoulder as always, followed by Michael Booth, and it looks like it's Clément Colmas who's in that group of four paddlers chasing the two New Caledonians, and it looks like the distance between the two, the duo of at the front of the race is being caught up slowly by that group of four people. I'm surprised not to see Ludovic Tolat, Tom Aubert, Davide Alpino, Paolo Marconi, and probably not too far behind. But look, this group of four is really working together. The distance, I mean, it might be just a visual impression, but that distance behind Noé Gayou is reducing by the second, and we might end up very soon with a 6-man front pack. What do you think, Mike?
Absolutely. From this perspective, it really looks like they're closing in really fast. Really fast. I'm trying to look at the GPS tracker to see if we can get something, what is going on here, but I am having a little hard time reading. But look at this, 65 meters. We are closing in here.
Yeah, they are doing the work on the upwind part.
So this number is bouncing back and forth quite a bit, but these long distance races, they're too hard to call until it's really within the last 10-15 minutes, in my opinion, just because it's so much about energy preservation, and just because you're fast out of the gates does not necessarily mean you're going to be able to keep that rhythm through all the way to the finish line. But our two, how you call them, Kagoo? When you say Kagoo, I think what kind of kangaroo? There's a kangaroo.
It's a kind of kangaroo paddling.
Their rhythm is it's amazing. It's just amazing, their rhythm. And here they are in a close-up. Here it's like, just in the zone, grinding it away. Amazing.
Yeah, it's not that flat. It's good. It's technical.
It definitely looks a little choppier out there than right here in front of the booth. It looks it looks choppy, but not too choppy. But out there, it's a different scenario.
Yeah, mentally it's nice to share it with a friend. Like when you are leading the race alone, it's harder than when you are two people. Like
yeah, you're kind of pushing each other.
And you can take the relay. You can like.
And of course, we always nice to see if we could have like some sort of a final sprint right here in front of the promenade here.
Yeah.
With a couple of guys coming in and really bringing it in right to the finish line.
Yeah, and that's great here. Like the organization is awesome because people can also watch the race on the screen. And then watch the race on the water when the racer is coming, because distance race is the most popular, like as you said yesterday, it's the king race of our sport. But you can't watch much the race from the shore, so that's great. Here on the ICF, we have some live screen on the big screen on the event site.
Yeah, it's a tough.
And they are going back. Look at that. Michael is paddling hard.
58 meters.
Yeah, Michael was third in that chasing pack.
Are we in there for a lead change there, or these two guys? Look at this, like parallel. Look at synchro paddling there for a moment. They look like they want to be doing a little bit of a lead change there, but then nope, it's just not happening. But yeah, as you said, long distance is the king discipline, but it's the hardest one to sell to the spectators and to the TV cast because they disappear. Like where we are sitting, there's nothing to be seen. Where people are walking past here, they're like, what, there's a race going on here? I don't see anybody. You have to look at the screen and see what's going on and really need to feed the people the stats. You can see them coming around. Okay,
closer.
there we are. Yes, so we can see them from the booth now.
From the shore.
Yeah, there they are.
They are following Zazik on the leading boat.
And that is just the first lap. These poor guys, they're going to have to do another one. We're 40 minutes into the race with the women and 50 with the men. Like, I don't know how you guys do that. Like, me personally, I just pull my hat off all these guys for going at it for an hour and a half or more doing just that. That's a marathon, man. That's no joke.
It's all about training and playing with the condition, with the ocean, with the lake, with the wind and the shop, and the good thing is like everything can happen, you know.
Yeah.
It's never the same, and you are sharing so many stories during a race like that with others.
Yes.
You know.
So it looks like Clément Colmas is out of this group of four chasing guys.
Nice observation, Mathieu.
It's two Asulia brothers following Michael Booth.
Yeah, what happened to the
catching
fourth one?
up slowly with Titouan and Noik. It looks like Titouan and Noik started paddling hard again.
And it looks also that the boat are doing some nice wake for the rider to come back.
Don't say that.
No, but it's the media boat, no? It's super hard to manage it because it makes a big difference. But for the people like driving the boat to follow the race, it's not that easy to not making any shop.
So what we don't see on the camera, what we see here, we see a fourth person lost behind the Hosuyo Booth group, and that must be Clémence. Who else could he be? And I'm sure curious, why did he fall back that much?
Yeah,
because he was just right there with him.
And make sure you get his name right, because Clémence is a woman's name, and it's Clément.
Oh, pardon, messieurs, dames, mon français, it's a little poor. Alors,
it's cute.
Thank you for the correction.
No worries. Right, so Michael Booth grinding hard towards Noik and Titouan. Not giving up on that chance to defend his title in this second edition of the ICF SUP Worlds. This is edition number 2. The first one took place 2 years ago in Qingdao, China, and was, I have to say, a success in terms of both organization and also in terms of broadcast. That was really next level.
Yeah, the boys did a good job, and I sure hope that we have a similar kind of finish, because they had 3 guys arriving within 1 minute when Michael Booth one was an hour 37 minutes, and within the same minute the Hosuya brothers arrived. So I would love to have a similar scenario here where the last word is not spoken until we have them turning into the final stretch here right in front of us to have the great
and they
camera
go to
finish.
The downwind.
Oh, they must be feeling so relieved.
He did a nice turn and a nice, like, how do you say that in English, when you turn and you go and you paddle hard again.
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
Wow. He's taking the lead by far, and on the downwind,
look at what's happening here.
That
And that was just within minutes. We watched these 2 guys doing the synchronized paddling, and now they are just far apart as we're switching over back to the women here. 43 minutes into the race with the women.
So the women ranking
nice draft line leading by April.
Yeah.
And we have SP or
Laura Catlas.
And where is Fiona in her orange dress?
Where is Fiona?
Where is Fiona in her orange dress? Easy to spot.
Wait, it looks like Fiona is in the mix, isn't she? Or that's from the stats I get on my screen.
We will see.
Oh no, actually she's leading by 181 meters. I've got the stats back on my screen, so that's going to be very, very helpful to tell you what's going on. So Fiona Wild is leading by close to 200 meters, and
that's solid.
And together we've got Esperanza. Actually, Esperanza is second, and and she's got April Zil chasing her, as well as Laura Kelglas, Anna Chirski, and Erika Reville.
Rewind real quick there. You said Anna is in there. That's respect for the Swiss.
And Yona and Fanny just behind.
Yeah, you've got Annabella Prioste from Portugal, as well as and Yona Rive and Fanny Tessier. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Fiona Tessier in 9th place. Iratsun Martin from Spain is in 10th. So two. Sorry.
The French girl, Reville.
Erika Reville. She actually ended up 4th in the French national. She's a French girl who lives in Fuerteventura.
That's great.
And we don't know her really on the French scene. So she just showed up in Nancy last year for the French nationals, and it's actually a good surprise to find her here ahead of 2 other very strong French athletes, who are Yona Rivet from Brittany and Fanny Tessier from the southwest of France, which is where I'm from, by the way. So we actually trained together.
Look at this distance, by the way.
With Fanny.
Wow. We are looking at 400 meter lead on April.
On the downwind, she's strong today.
Fiona is on fire.
Yeah, on fire.
Yes, she's leading by close to 200 meters.
I'm so happy for her to.
And April Zilk, and is that Katerina Stenta? I haven't seen Katerina in the list in there. It's Laura, isn't it? Yes, it's Laura. But where is Katerina? Katerina should be in there, unless she decided. Oh, she is in there, but very, very far away. What happened to Katerina? That's a big surprise to see her. At least on my screen, basically the athlete stats that GPS tracker that I'm using tells me that Katerina Stenta, one of the best performing athletes in Europe these days, is actually left behind, very, very far away from the top of the race, from the front of the race. By one, she's got a 1 kilometer delay from what I can see. That's very strange to see Katerina in this situation. Something to investigate later on, if we can figure out what happened to her.
Sometimes you have good days, bad days, and it happens. And on the distance, if you're on a bad day,
absolutely,
it's hard. It's super hard.
Absolutely. Holly Pye is close to the top 10 women as well, probably in 11th place right now. The girl from South Devon, and Petronella Van Malsen is in the mix as well. She could have chosen to go to the SUP Event City Tour, which is taking place this weekend as well, being from the Netherlands and having taken part in many times in this event. But at the front of the race,
new favorite word.
Noik and
kangaroos.
Noik and Tito are still in front. So they're managing to stay away from that chasing pack, huh? Well,
they sure are.
Yeah.
That's quite something. It's quite
certainly
a
because
feat.
it came back to the downwind part, so that's what they like.
Just 11 meters between the two of them.
Actually, and we see the action.
And we see Fiona coming from the shore now, and the back of girl behind.
Yes, we can.
I want to go.
Yes, we can. See?
Can I go?
Now you're getting the itch.
You can go. Or you can go tomorrow during the inflexible race.
So exciting to watch them.
Yes, here they are. Here they come.
I can see the drone flying off.
And actually, it's the perfect
the women.
It's the perfect weather for racing today. It's not too hot, not too cold.
Nice and clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, which brings me maybe to a question we can discuss in the meanwhile. Freshwater long distance versus saltwater long distance. Do you feel any difference there as an athlete? Do you prefer one or the other?
I prefer the salty. I prefer the saltwater. I don't know why, but I used to have better performance on the salty water, and for sure the choice of your paddle change on the clear water, like on the French water.
You can feel the density.
You can feel it a bit, yeah. But yeah, I think it's more about the condition. Like more about like the wind and the shop. Like there is different like kind of racer.
Yeah.
Flat water racer, open ocean racer, like, and then
we're looking at
Wow.
Fiona right here.
Fiona
And who's that behind on the side there? Nobody of her class.
No,
Catch a
it's
guy.
probably caught up with
Junior guys, maybe.
the junior guy. So yeah, she's not battling it out right now. She's definitely got a good lead over Esperanza Barreras. By the look of it, let me check my stats.
160 meters.
Yes, 157 meters actually from my screen, which matches what you guys have as well. So that's perfect. And behind them, we've got a gap of a small gap of a few meters, 6-7 meters. And we've got April Zilk and Laura Kedglas. Actually, no. Behind Esperanza Barreras, we've got a gap of 200 meters. And then we have April Zilk with Laura Kedglas, with Anna Chersky, Erika Reville, Anabela Prios from Portugal, Yona Rive.
There we go.
There you go. Perfect.
Wow, we just had there for one little moment, 400 meters.
And Portuguese racer.
There is quite a margin.
Prioste, of course. Thanks for the pronunciation. You live in Portugal, Olivia. You could be doing all of this in Portuguese now, right?
Não sei. Acho que não.
I like watching those stats changing on the screen. The difference, the gap between the first and the second pack is margin. It's a big margin. Look at this. They're almost twice as far behind.
Yep.
Esperanza is all by herself there in the middle. And this is going to be, I don't know, this is going to be for a very interesting finish. I'm not quite sure how much as they're going to be able to change with such, I mean, 400 meters, that's no joke. That's a large gap.
Yeah.
Well, we're pretty confident that Esperanza Barreras can hold that pace for
And she's
for a long time.
144
What about
meter.
Fiona? What about Fiona? Is she on 18.5 kilometers? Can she hold the front
for sure she can.
position?
And the good thing for her is the downwind part. She can even like put some more gap on the downwind leg.
Yeah, she can
which is
capitalize on those.
Which is pretty long, and
bumps.
she loves it, so she's gonna enjoy it. But you know, on the distance race, everything can happen, because if like there is at one point on this epic racing, you can give it all, or you can like at some time like how to say that.
Your body just doesn't want anymore.
It's a mental game, like we said before, and
look at the noses of the boards, how they're coming up and down. So we don't see the same chop here on the shore that they have out there. It is definitely far choppier out there than what we see here on shore.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Which is great on the lake. It's great to have this kind of condition. It's more fun.
Absolutely.
I even want to say I see the one or the other white cap popping up in the background, which would indicate a little increase in the wind speed. Or it's a boat wake hitting an oncoming chop. But you see that, Olivia? There is definitely, looks like I see the one or the other little white cap there coming on.
There
as
is,
the camera
for
is
sure on
coming
the
up.
lake, the boat wake, it's something. I can remember on the lake of Annecy in France, in summer, it's like full of wave by the boats.
Right, yes, when everybody's out on Sunday afternoon.
It's part of the game. It's even like harder because the wave comes from the side and not only from the back or from the front. They come from every direction actually when it's a boat wake.
Yeah, and then I mean you're paddling on a 20. Look at that, 137 meters.
The gap is closing in
a little bit, yes.
Yeah, but
between those two athletes. There used to be 50 meter more a few minutes ago.
Yeah, well, what we counted 146, 147, something like that. What was that?
180. It went up to 180. So it's down to 150 right now.
And Michael.
Here's Michael.
Looks like he's on his own right now. Where is that group of 3 paddlers chasing Noik and Titouan? Michael
I'd love to
Booth.
know what's going through his head right now.
Few world titles under his belt, and one of them being the ICF long distance world title from the 2019 Qingdao Stand-Up Paddle World Championships.
I got a whole list here of his accomplishments. 3-time Euro Tour sub-champion, 2017, 18 and 19. 3-time Australian champion distant race, 15, 17 and 18. I mean, it goes on and on. Euro Tour champion, 2 times Carolina Cup champion, 18 and 19. All lots of pre-COVID results here that we're looking at on our stats.
And on the downwind leg, the gap is like he's getting longer and longer, bigger and bigger as well.
Yeah. As we are looking at, are those our 2 kangaroos there again?
Kangaroos. Kangaroos are in Australia.
I'm going to get in trouble here for some.
You are.
I'm never going to be allowed to go to New Caledonia ever.
Absolutely. So, who is going to be able to catch up with Noik and Titouan in that 18.5 kilometer long distance race on day 2 of the ICF SUP World Championships on Lake Balaton in Hungary? We've got Bruno Osuyo, we've got Daniel Osuyo, we've got Michael Booth, Leonard Nica, David Alpino, Tom Aubert, Fernando Perez from Spain, Itzel Delgado from Peru. Here they are popping up on your screen. Titouan Pouilleau in the lead at the moment, shoulder to shoulder with Noik Gayu. Michael Booth is in a chase mode with the Osuyo brothers, one on an X-Bionic board and the other one on starboard. Leonard Nica always there, always at the in the top 10 of an international race. It has been for the Italian stallion. He's a bit of the Rocky Balboa of SUP racing. Leonard Nica has been around for a long time, and always performing at top level. And a few years ago, he brought in his brother Claudio Nica, and that was around 2015. And Claudio Nica has got some medals on the international scene as well. He won a silver medal in the sprint 2 years ago at the ICF Qingdao 2019.
And less than a second behind Connor, like 0.88 seconds behind Connor in the sprint. So we're definitely looking forward to those sprint races.
Definitely forward to it. And I did analyze this race again 2 days ago. And you can see in that 40-second race that Connor Baxter established a world record in 200-meter sprint. You can see in the last 10 meters, you can see Claudio coming back from a full board length to a half board length onto Connor. So 2 years on, let's see where Claudio Nica is in terms of sprint form. We'll be able to see that this afternoon, actually.
Looks like the studios are
going to be amazing.
Coming back in the downwind as well.
Oh, look at our 2 guys.
So
The Cagoos now 25 meters.
Wow.
Did I say that right now? Cagoo?
Cagoo, absolutely. Yeah, I don't know if you said the S in English though. Cagoos. I did say that early on.
And there they have a nice little wave there. Look, it's breaking.
Yeah, it looks like
they are surfing the wave of the media
boat. They're kind of using the media boat wake there. Watch out, media boat. You don't want to advantage these guys too much. And obviously, there's a big title at stake.
Group of 3 there.
Michael Booth. Not really working together, these guys. It's actually very disconcerting to see the Osuyo brothers not together and really helping each other out on this.
It's because they're on the downwind, so
absolutely
to work together, like drafting is not that easy on the downwind.
Still, they're very, very far apart from each other.
No, choose the wake of the boat. Good choice.
Well, we know those X-Bionic race boards glide really well. He's got lots of Instagram videos of him.
Surfing the wave in Porto.
In Porto, right?
Yeah.
So that group of 3, not really working together, from Australia, from Hungary, are trying to catch up with Noik and Titouan. They got around 45 minutes to try and do so. That's the top 5 guys for us, but behind we've got...
It seemed that Boosie had some nice waves and came back to the Canoe like super quickly, like on the last minute.
I'd love to see the meters. The distance in meters would be very interesting to see on how these gaps are closing or not. There is Lucy and Bruno.
It's pretty unusual to see Michael Booth in that position in such at such international level, not at the front of the race. So it will be interesting to see if he manages to regroup and catch up with the two guys in front. Obviously, everyone is in top form. Everyone's been training very, very hard. This is the big moment. Actually, Michael Booth is putting his hand on the water to get some a bit of a fresh feel, and probably to get rid of the sweat on his palms. Is that something that you do, Olivia, sometimes during a race?
Yeah, when it's very very hot. Yeah.
What does it do to you when you actually do that?
Sometimes you can put your hands on the water, but it's not that good for like for the time. Yeah.
You miss a few strokes, right, when you do that, but I guess if you feel better, you
just keep going, like, and trying not sleeping on the shaft. But
Speaking to you, are you waxing your paddle? Because I remember at the M2O, many athletes are waxing their paddle. Is that the thing?
What? Sorry?
Putting surf wax on the paddle.
Wax. I used to do it a few times, but I use like a grip on the shaft.
Okay.
And some shafts have like the grip like when you like on the ocean.
Gotcha. Look at these guys, 30 meters almost.
Yeah, that's.
And that's.
They look a little bit closer actually. But
and Noik wants to know it. Noik wants it.
Like,
Titouan might be trying something right now, trying to detach himself from Noik. We're entering the second part of the race, and Noik. Oh, actually, Noik Chicken is waving in the back. What's going on here? Is probably calling some. There's some issue going on right here. It's just this is the third time he turns around, and he actually missed a couple of strokes to call out someone. Maybe because of the media boat making some ways for other athletes. I get that quite a lot. You know, obviously following some SUP races on a media boat. I get sometimes the complaints that it's very difficult to actually follow a race very closely and offer some good images and not creating a bit of a wake. So I'm not sure what was that about, but Noik was looked a little bit disconcerted there, following Titouan, still in second place though, and Michael Booth and the Assulio brothers are chasing them.
As we look at Fiona holding a speed of 8.4 kilometers an hour.
She's making her way.
And so 140 meters, so still just about plus minus what it was like 137 when we got the last stats, so not a big change there, I would say. Not a big change there. Interesting to see when we see the meters behind how far April is behind and her group.
Distance from the start, so we basically just entered the second half of the of this race, long distance race, which is 18.5 kilometers. They started with a straight line of 800 meters to reach that triangle-shaped course, and they're going to have to do those 800 meters to finish off the race before reaching a last buoy that they have to leave on their left before a 100-meter stretch of water to the finish line, right by the promenade of Balatonfüred, by the lake, and where we're standing right now. Actually, here we
go, leaderboard. 437 meter for Laura, and I just lost the April one.
So April Zilg in fourth, Laura Kedglas. Wow, and actually changing back and forth with April Zilg, so they're together, as well as Anna Chirki
coming in on 300 meters.
And Annabella Prioste, I do you know that athlete from Portugal, Olivia?
No, I don't think so.
I think she's national champion in long distance in Portugal. But that's all I know of her so far.
Do you know where she lives? Or?
I don't know.
We'll see.
Could be Madeira. Do you know if they've got a good school of stand-up paddling in Madeira? They definitely organize some good good events. But I don't know where Annabella Prioste is from. But she's in the top 10 as well, and those are nice surprises to see. Erica Reville, that's someone that we know really well, who's from France, but lives in the Canary Islands, and as well as Annabella Prioste. Anna Chirski, we know her a little bit more because she's already got a Euro Tour podium under her belt.
She does.
Actually.
She started very young. Again, I've seen her. She was probably 15 years old at the Pacific Paddle Games, winning a junior leg there.
Lucy.
And there they
Lucy
are.
and Bruno.
Bruno looks like he's got some kind of virtual advantage over Michael Booth right now on his X-Bionic board. So starboard versus X-Bionic right now, with the Australian against the Hungarian, trying to catch up with Noé Gariou and Titouan Pouillot, the two French/New Caledonians.
I think they both have the hollow board. That is new for starboard. I heard about. Do you heard about it?
Well, I've heard of it, and I don't know if we're allowed to talk about it yet.
The cat's out of the bag by now, but hollow boards looks like it's a new, it's a trend that's coming back.
Don't apologize. Obviously I'm saying that jokingly. It's like
people are just talking about it on the.
Absolutely, everybody's talking about it.
So wow.
I can confirm. I haven't seen one yet, so. That's one of the things I need to do is check out the 2022 boards with Connor, with Michael and Daniel while I'm here. Just check out what gear they've got. But basically, from the sound of it, in November, Starboard will be able to announce what's coming up for 2022, and there are some surprises, and that could well be what you've just said, Olivia. Maybe some hollow boards under these guys' feet, but. I can confirm that.
It makes sense if you think about it in terms of lightness.
I just said what the rider told me yesterday. That they are racing on the hollow, but let's see. Yeah, maybe it's not hollow.
No, you're probably right. It's just that I don't have this information right now.
On the video we can see like the stroke of the rider and the board. Like it's like the hollow board are pretty new. Bruno just started doing it with Light Corp and X-Bionic. And it's a big question to see, like, is it good for the inertia? Like,
yes.
This name in English too, of the board, like when, like on the, maybe it's good on the sprint because it's lighter, but maybe on the distance the inertia of the weight is good too. So it
gets too bouncy when you're shifting your weight and you're pushing the board too far down into the water.
Yeah, and it's certainly also a different kind of paddling, because the board is lighter, so you have to adapt your stroke, and you adapt your rhythm.
Yeah, and regardless, the Cagoos are not on hollow boards, we know that, and they're evidently in the lead here with 130 meters, so the last word on advantages seems not to be spoken.
Yeah, this is definitely something that I've been waiting for a while actually to measure, and so far I don't have anything that tells me one or the other is really the best. What definitely Bruno likes to boast about is having he said that again to me yesterday, the lightest weight, lightest board on the SUP scene, 8 kilos. That's as a production board.
That's amazing.
That's his X-Bionic board. But yeah, does that make a huge difference? I'm not a huge technician in terms of board design, but just from a spectator point of view, I haven't seen a huge difference so far. Have you tried hollow boards, Olivia?
Not much. I tried it, but not like this kind of board. It was like regular race board, but not performance race board. But yeah, it's super interesting to to see that and to, yeah.
Yeah, well, if you think about it, 10 years ago when downwind racing became a thing, every elite 14-foot and up unlimited boards were all hollow. That's all like all the early SIC boards. That's all there was. It was hollow boards, and then when they started going into production with the SIC boards, then the foam was introduced. And I mean, you have two boards in your hand, the hollow one and the production board with foam. I mean, the weight difference is huge.
Yeah.
Is huge. And so I can definitely see, particularly when you're using bumps, etc., having a hollow board just makes more sense. It's lighter. And as a paddler, you're not pushing this much weight forward, so you're having a considerably lighter board, which is easier on the body to paddle forward. So to me, I think I wouldn't be surprised if in the next few years you always see everybody on hollow boards.
Well, check this out. Mr. Colmas, Clément, is in 6th position right now, and Itzel Delgado comes in as well from Peru, the Peruvian Prince, as Chris Parker dubbed him a few years ago, and Leonica.
Yeah, they're far.
Still here in the mix. So one Italian to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's the top 8 paddlers. This is not over yet. You know, obviously Titouan has had the best start, followed by Noé Gariou. They're leading the race. They know each other by heart. They're probably working together at this moment. But obviously, at some point, something's going to happen between these two. There is a world title at stake, and someone's going to have to make a difference at some stage. But Michael Booth and the Yashiro brothers are still losing ground. Actually, they were getting closer, but they're now 150 or 127 meters behind the two New Caledonians, and it's going to be an interesting third part of the race now that we are into 1 hour and 12 minutes into
here
the
we got
race.
some cool stats coming up. Look at this. New Caledonia 1 and New Caledonia 2, from the way I see that, is 2 seconds. And boom, now it's gone. And there we are, les Cagous. Bonjour les Cagous, ça va? It's still in the rhythm, amazing. Look at the rhythm, and they're probably overlapping,
It looks they're
overturning the hobby
finish line,
paddlers there. They're outside the marina with the crane there that we just saw that. So in reference to us, they are coming up. But for us here from the booth, it's too far to see.
But it looks like T2, no?
It looks like T2 over there.
It looks like T2.
So
it's
that's a super fast race then. If it's because I was definitely expecting an hour and 45 minutes for the front
because we can't see with the sun.
For the front race, but given the landscape behind these guys, it could well be that. Well, they would have to be two guys. No, this is the who's coming back? The 10K racers are coming back. Yeah, we got a bit of confusion here because you're testing me. You're testing my nerves more than anything.
The boys have 3 kilometers, like 4 kilometers they have to go still.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Suzanne.
Thank you for
welcome back.
Suzanne, welcome
back to the booth here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that race should be, I reckon, an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So still a good half hour to go for T2 and Noik to try and maintain that lead over some of the top guys in the world. They might have made a very good choice starting really hard in this long distance race.
And Fiona is paddling well. Look at that.
Look at that. Fiona still.
Yeah, it's still strong.
Yeah, the two. Admittedly, Titouan and Fiona are probably the most informed people on the SUP race planet right now.
And here after leaderboard.
Titouan is actually undefeated this year, and not just in SUP racing, and is raced a lot. From June, he's done something like 7 or 8 races, plus some French canoe nationals that he won in both OC1 and OC2, outrigger canoe 1, one place, outrigger canoe 2, and that's actually Titouan's in original sport.
Yeah, it's very complementary. OC and SUP, it's like it's the same stroke.
Canoeing. Yeah.
And it's also good to change for the mind, like to do different sports, different racing formats.
All right, it looks like we've got the first junior man approaching the finish line. I don't know if we're going to be able to cover that, but if we don't, it's all happening in front of our eyes and maybe not in front of the camera, so we'll be able to tell you, maybe looking at the bib number if we don't know the guy, who's about to win the.
And it's still windy. Look at the
There he is.
flag.
Somebody's here. There he is. Yes.
All right, we've got.
Very nice. This is how it looks. This is the photo finish we want.
This is the 50 plus.
Good job.
Dani Pares, plus 50 winner. Actually,
Congratulations.
Winning over the juniors. The juniors are obviously on 12/6 inflatable. Dani Pares, who's a figure, a very well-known figure on the Spanish SUP racing, is the organizer of the Santa Pola SUP race, part of the Euro Tour. And Dani Pares from Spain is crossing the line. Wow, congratulations, world title. This is our first world champion of the competition. Daniel Pares, enhorabuena. Congratulations to Dani. Dani was born in France, actually. He was born in Perpignan, believe it or not. But now he's based in Alicante, Santa Pola. Alicante, small village of Santa Pola, where I was invited to cover the Santa Pola event, the World SUP race. Festival, World SUP Festival.
It's a great race.
Part of the Euro Tour.
I loved it.
And
yeah, again. It was a downwind. It was a downwind starting from an island.
Yes.
Going to Santa
And here's
Pola.
the second one coming in. I'm pretty sure you guys recognize him. I do not. But here's our number 2, just crossing the booth.
all right, so we've got is on the starboard, and that's bib number 608.
I'm sure we'll have.
Oh, this I think that's a guy from Denmark. I'm pretty sure. Let me have a look. From Switzerland.
Peter Mulhauser from Switzerland.
Yes,
Look
yes.
at that. Grüezi miteinander.
I knew it was red and white, so I went for Denmark, but no. Switzerland.
It's almost the same.
Yeah, I think this guy is took part in the SUP Events Tour a few times, actually.
Very great accomplishment here.
So silver medal for Peter from Switzerland. And at the front of the open men, we still have Noé Gariou and Titouan Pouillot working together to keep that pace and keeping away more than anything from chasing Michael Booth and Ashulio brothers and more, many more. Leonica, Clément Colmas, and Davide Alpino, Tom Aubert not far behind either. But the Canoe decided to grind away very, very early, and they, from the start, managed to get some lead over the chasing pack. That lead has been reduced a couple of times, but they're still ahead. And Noé Gariou, he looks nervous. He looks nervous. He keeps checking behind him to see if the distance is being maintained. Let's see how this story unfolds in the next minutes. But Michael Booth, what a surprise! Is in.
I did not see that coming. I'm glad I didn't call anything in advance. I was going to bet on T2 for sure, making a difference, but yeah, that is. Glad I did not open up my mouth.
Swiss second place, and
here's more.
It's gonna be Swiss bronze medal as well. Guido Donzi is arriving to the finish line.
More people in front of us paddling in.
Harmadik helyen ezzel bronzérmes lesz a világbajnokságon Guido Donzi, Svájcból. It's
getting crowded here in a minute, guys. It's getting crowded here in a minute.
Második, illetőleg harmadik helyen végeztek. És a győztes egyelőre természetesen Daniel Barres Spanyolországból, közben érkeznek a többiek is.
We're gonna have the Canoe just in front of us. As you see, two more guys crossing the line here. You guys can see that on the screen. You're still watching the Canoe.
I can see my friend from Barcelona, Marc Soler.
Molokai.
Well, not Molokai actually, not Molokai Sub-Center, but SUP Barcelona is in 5th position. Well done, well done. That's grand. Yeah, the Spanish are everywhere. And the big battle for the first junior is all happening in front of our eyes.
Yes.
Simon Celis just won the juniors, Manuel Oyuela in second. And sorry, Aaron Sanchez in third position. That's unofficial. We are about 30 meters away from the finish line, but we've just seen Marc.
Look at this, happy finishes right here.
Followed by Manuel Oyuela. It looks like three Spanish in occupying the three top position of the junior race.
Aaron Sanchez also
to be confirmed.
From Spain.
Thank you, Suzanne
Spanish 1, 2, 3
Molinero
on the long distance junior man, 10 kilometers.
For the name.
The world champion is Lucas Simoncelli. Hatalmas tapsot a fiataloknak.
Simoncelli, Manuel Oyuela,
a világbajnok 10 kilométeren a junior fiúknál. Lucas Simoncelli a második helyen, Manuel Oyuela, és a harmadik pedig Aaron Sanchez.
Guys, that is a lot of time that they are long way. They have a long way on SUP racing.
Yeah, wow. I told you the Spaniards were here to occupy some top spots, and they've just proved it with this full Spanish podium in the junior division.
Congratulations, guys. Very well done.
That could be Antonio de la Sera, maybe. He looks like him.
You can see the athlete, long distance junior man, the plus category.
Yeah, the Cagoes are still leading the race. They are about 2 kilometers from the start.
Brother Michael Booth was falling back here, looking like he's now in number 5.
Right, at the front of the open men's race, Titouan Pouillot and Noe Garyu.
Nose to nose.
And 22 minutes into the race. We're getting closer to the finish line. And there's still a big gap behind these two. Michael Booth, that we definitely expected a little bit closer to the front of the race in the last hour and a half. Well, has been switching from 3rd to 5th position. First of all, in a chase pack of 4 guys, and then given the downwind, upwind, sidewind conditions of this race, that pack broke, and basically everyone started choosing their own lane, and not really helping each other. To try and catch up with these two New Caledonians.
Pretty much untouched for the entire almost hour and a half that we've been watching, or actually we've been watching an hour and a half, so...
Yeah, it looks like Noé wanted to take the lead, and he were drafting T2 all along the upwind path, so T2 weren't happy about that, and he looks like he's like, okay man, now
it's on.
I go for it, and you don't pass me at the end of the race. But yeah, they are fighting hard and still keeping the perfect technique on.
Yeah. If you want to see some great downwind skills, you check out Noe Garyu's Instagram account. Yeah. You'll see him do some one-leg downwind surfing. Noe really impressed me. You know when Noe really did it for me is when he won at the age of 15. Yeah. Well, he won the gorge a couple of times. but I discovered him at the French National Championships when he was 15 years old.
Yeah.
And he was 5 minutes ahead of the top Frenchmen. We're talking about Martin Le Tourneur, Greg Closier, all the top guys. Titouan wasn't there, I remember, but all the top French guys were, they're strong. Martin Vitry and so on. And he had a 5 minute lead over the competition at this event. So he's such a strong downwinder. And then I saw him at the APP event in London, and he won the sprint. And that's where I knew that this guy could do it all, basically. And he was actually in the final against Titouan Pouillot. So although Titouan has served as some kind of mentor for Noé Gaillou and also for Clément Colmas, you know that when it comes to competition, these guys, these young kids, are fearless and actually part of the respect for Titouan Pouillot is to go all the way, to go 100%, and that's what Noik has done a few times already, and beaten his mentor on the international scene a few times. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see if they manage to keep that distance ahead of the chasing pack. What's going to happen between those two? They are both.
Like
look at the meters.
Past Bussy.
Suyo, both, yes.
That's Sulio's brother?
Yes.
Yeah, Fernando Perez has just made an appearance in the top 8 there. Fernando Perez from Spain, from Andalusia, I guess, right?
Yes.
Absolutely, one of those new Spanish SUP racers who actually did something pretty interesting yesterday. Ludovic Tolad was in 4th position in the technical race, and Fernando Perez came back and won the 4th position, and therefore qualifying for the semis.
Look at the girls. Look at the girls. I really enjoy watching the meters here, and we see how Fiona is now over a half kilometer in front of April, and then going back to Barreras with 200 meters.
Everyone who's finished the race, you can come out from the water.
The girls are kind of like they're all on their own, and then definitely impressed with the young Swiss here in 5th position. Behind
2 French girls occupying position 7 and 8, Erika Reville and Yona Rive. We know little about Erika Reville, as I said earlier. She lives in the Canaries, and Yona Rive is from Brittany. And Yona Rive did pretty well at Van this earlier on this year, and also in pony shape. But there's another French girl that I'd like to see. That's Fanny Tessier. She's got 2 French titles in the
her name keeps coming up a lot lately.
Right, Titouan Pouillot in the lead, followed by Noik Gaillou. Is Noik Gaillou playing some tactics here? Is he saving some energy following?
It's not a tactics. I hope that Noik will respect the effort of T2, because like when you drive for kilometers, you take the lead or you let the people leading the race win. That's what I did with Sonny actually in China. She was so strong, and I was just following her, and she said, she told me, why you don't take the lead like sometimes? And I was like, look, I can't because you're too fast. I'm just struggling taking your draft, So, Sonny, you just go for it. And we do agree before, during the race, that I won't following her during the 18 kilometer and then passing her at the end of the race, because it's not how we play this game. And so let's see how they do.
Some juniors.
The inflatable boards. Let's go, guys.
So there's some sort of a codex there. Yeah, it's like an honorary codex. If you draft somebody for 18 kilometers, you're not grab them on the sprint.
It depends on the people, and it depends of your ethic.
And it probably also depends on the prize money that's involved.
No, maybe so for some people it works like that, but most of us are respected, we respect each other, and it's not much about the money, it's about the sport.
Tisztelettel, kedves hölgyeim és uraim, én itt állok
we used to share the race, we used to like taking the relay and
versenyzők a pontonról, és itt áll mellettem 3 rendkívül jókedvű és nagyon-nagyon boldog spanyol versenyzők, igazi fiatal emberek.
Well, I'm not sure actually. Noik is in Titwan's draft right now. It could be, it could well be on the side. I'm not.
I think he's on the draft
you
for
think he's in the
3
draft?
kilometers.
Okay.
It's been 3 kilometers.
Okay, so it's a
been on the
visual
draft.
impression. All right.
But it seemed like Titwan is super strong today, and he has the experience, he has the training, and he's like still gliding so well.
Yeah, Titwan has been used to leading races, especially this year more than ever. Titwan's history with SUP racing is very, very interesting. He showed up in 2014.
Did you enjoy the race?
He had a wild card invitation at the French Nationals, and nobody knew who he was. And at the time, who was ruling on the SUP racing scene in France? Greg Closier, Eric Terrien, of course, and well, those guys, those top guys, Martin Letourneur, and who was there. And this guy shows up on the long distance. He wins by 50 meters. And nobody knew who he was, and that's just, you know, gobsmacked absolutely everyone. And 6 months later, he had his first
contract.
No, his first world title. His first world title, and all of that happened in 6 months, and that's why I on TotalSUP.com I actually wrote an article and I called him the unknown flying rider, you know, like the UFO. Well, that's the UFR, unknown flying rider.
How was your
Titwan Puyol? And he was a dark horse for a while, and now he's proved to the world that he's more than one of the best
and he's so humble and shy, and he's a simple guy, and I love his personality.
Absolutely, very
So the gold medalist, the bronze medalist, the silver medalist.
All right.
So they should be within sight.
Yes,
they are there.
Okay, looks like they are entering the last stretch of 800 meters.
So it was a good race.
A straight line to the promenade where we are standing right now with our booth tower, and so that means another maybe 5 minutes before the end of the race. It's going to be very, very fast as these guys are accelerating. You can see the Asulio brothers with Daniel Asulio chasing, followed by Bruno Asulio. I don't know where Michael Booth is. Let's see on our stats here. Michael Booth looks like he's in 5th position right now, followed by Leonica from Italy. Daniel is in 3rd position right now, followed by Bruno. I'd like to see all of them in the same on the same screen. Titwan Puyol in 1st position, Noik Gayu in his draft. They haven't kicked off the sprint, if any, but it's likely if they maintain the distance ahead of the Asulio brothers that
thank you very much
some sort of sprint could start between these two, unless, just like Olivia said earlier on, Noik recognizes that Titwan Puyol has been doing the hard work and leaving in front. I don't know. I'd be very, very surprised that the two of them don't try to fight very, very hard all the way to the finish line for that gold medal. Titwan Puyol's first participation in an ICF World Championship. He wasn't there in 2019. Grinding hard.
Happy with the result?
Noik Gayu.
And what about you?
The young Noik Gayu is 19. Noik. Whose main objective in this competition is the sprints, apparently. Well, he might have at least a silver medal around his neck today, unless the Asulio brothers, who are working together now, they finally managed to regroup under the same draft. They are chasing Titwan and Noik in the last 500 meters of this race. We are 1 hour and 34 minutes and 20 seconds into the long distance race. If you're just tuning in right now, you are watching day 2's long distance of the ICF SUP World Championships 2021 in Balatonfüred in Hungary. Just an hour and a half away from Budapest, where we all landed a few days ago to attend the biggest international event of the year, with more than 50 countries participating and lots of new countries as well from Eastern Europe, especially Hungary, of course, but also Slovakia, Poland, Slovenia, Ukraine, Russia, of course, with Andre Crater. We haven't seen Andre Crater in this race. We haven't seen, never in the top 10.
He is more sprinter, no? From the Canoe.
He is definitely a sprinter. He's one of the Russia's top canoe sprinters. Started standard battle racing 4 years ago, and managed to get a 4th place at the sprints in 2019. All right,
they are coming.
Here they are.
Yeah, the bros are
Everybody off their feet. Where are they?
So there is a 30-meter lead
and
into the race. Titouan Pouillot, Noé Gariou are approaching the last buoy, and then it's going to be a 200-meter potentially sprint between the two New Caledonians. Daniel Osulio in 3rd position. He's paddling hard away from Bruno Osulio. There's a board difference between the two brothers, and Titouan Pouillot is sprinting hard to the finish line, still in 1st position. Titouan. Noé Gariou is trying to maintain his balance, but is a bit struggling in the wake of Titouan Pouillot's board.
So, ladies and gentlemen,
Titouan Pouillot solid, very solid. Clean stroke in the last 50 meters now. Away from the finish line, Titouan Pouillot in 1st position on the NSP, followed by Noé Gariou on the Sonova. There's a board length between those two New Caledonian champs who've done the race. At the front, Titouan Pouillot had the best start. He's got the best result. He's your today's world champion on the long distance. Titouan Pouillot first, Noé Gariou second, and Daniel Osulio on the starboard, arriving in 3rd position. Now he's got 20 meters lead over Bruno Osulio in 4th position. Congratulations. Your podium, Titouan Pouillot 1st, 2nd, Noé Gariou 3rd, Daniel Osulio 4th, Bruno Osulio, 2 Hungarians on the podium. If you count the 4th position
Great race.
in the podium. What an amazing race. I have to say I'm really impressed by Titouan here today. He had the best start. He maintained the lead. He did all the work, most of the work in this race, especially in the last 3 kilometers, and he did still managed to stay in front in that last 200-meter sprint. Congratulations, Titouan, definitely the man in form. A bit of an upset for Michael Booth, who is not on the podium, who could not defend his world title today. I still don't see him, but let's see on the screen. All right, some celebration for Titouan. World champ Bruno Osulio looks a bit gutted in the background. Over there, Daniel has got a big smile though on his face. Daniel, who's got a kid now. Daniel, a little Jasmine. Titouan Pouillot, your world champion. Noé Gariou second. And probably not the last medal for these guys in this competition. This is day 2 of the biggest international event on the planet, the ICF SUP World Championships.
He's dead, look at him.
Nagy különbségek elolvadtak a végére.
Wow, what a race. An hour of 44 plus minus. Grinding away, putting it down. And where is Michael Booth?
Michael Booth is coming. Michael Booth is 50 meters away from the finish line in 5th position. What an upset. We expected him to defend his title today and retain his title. He failed to do that today. He was chasing for most of the race in up to third position a long time during the race, but he didn't manage to keep that pace. And here he comes in fifth position. Michael Bush, the Australian, the only Australian in this competition actually. No sight of Lincoln Hughes, no sign of Ty Judson.
It was not easy to come.
Obviously, because of those crazy restrictions linked to the COVID crisis. Wow, look at this beautiful image of the two. Canoe! Hello, New Caledonia! Check this out!
Yeah, they say Canoe.
These guys have been paddling for years together in Ansvata in New Caledonia, which is a great downwind spot. It's also used by lots of kite surfers and windsurfers. But basically they've got that beautiful 20 to 30 downwind run that some of them do it every day. And because of the bumps, they definitely had an advantage today over the competition, because they like it when it's when there's a bit of a swell, whether it comes from the side or from behind or even upwind. These guys are super strong, and working together obviously made a huge difference. And actually, two world champions here, Daniel and Titouan. Daniel who won the 50 plus division, 10 kilometer division, and what a great sight, and what a great recognition also for Titouan, who's got two world titles under another federation, and that's his first ICF title. And he's undefeated this year. Undefeated this year, yes. Whether on an OC1 on the VAA or an OC2, and obviously on a stand-up paddle board. What a great champion. Titu is 30 now, isn't he? He's not the 24-year-old kid anymore. But still grinding away and still very strong, and an amazing, humble champion. T2 superstar, as Chris Parker would say if he was in the booth with us right now.
Absolutely. Right. And here we are, back to the ladies, because there is more excitement to come. Don't go away, stay with us. We're seeing here Titu and Noik, of course, giving us a little interview. And after that, we hope and see the excitement of the ladies with Fiona with a big lead. I do not think we hear this interview here on the webcast. I think this interview is being given for the local TV station, from what I understand.
They don't look like so much tired. Look at them. Yeah, after 18 kilometers. Maybe they can hear them.
Yeah, so maybe we have a lip reader around so we can translate. So no, it's hard to say whether you guys in the live cast can hear their interview or not.
Congratulations to both of you. Well done.
Here we go.
Great result. Thank you very much.
Or here we were.
All right.
Very well done.
We should probably switch
Very
to the women now, with Fiona White, who's just like Titu made a race for herself. Clément Colmas is actually about to cross the line right now in sixth position, if I'm following this right, followed by Itzel Delgado.
Very interesting finishing.
Followed by Itzel Delgado in seventh, and who's that on the NSP board? Could you help me out, guys? That's not on your screen though, because we are back on the women. but Clement Colmas has just crossed the line in 6th position, and Itzel Delgado is in 7th, and Fernando Perez from Spain.
Itzel was just coming through, but back to Fiona.
In 8th position. Okay, back to Fiona in the lead.
Still pacing at 8.2 kilometers. It's not slowed down by any means, at least from what I can see. So that's just keep going. A little bit under 2 kilometers to go.
And since we last saw her on the screen, the distance between her and Esperanza Barreras has increased by 40 meters. She's now got 180 meters lead over Esperanza, and wow, what an incredible champion!
And she's just like the Canoe. She was from the start on, out of the gates first, and maintained that lead pretty much throughout the entire time.
You actually rarely see that, someone
amazing,
starting super fast and maintaining that lead in such a long distance, because 18.5 kilometers is nothing short, right, for some races. So yeah,
and it looks like the gap to April and the people behind started to grow. They're like, can you see it from the GPS tracker? The screen said some 690 plus meters.
Yeah, so Esperanza is 2nd, and April Zilk has got a 10-meter lead over Anna Czirski, and then comes Anabela Prioste from Portugal, and then Erika Reville, Yona Rive in 7th. Fanny Tessier is back in top 8. Looks like there's going to be a big battle for the outside of the podium positions, but Fiona Wild is killing it at the front of this race. She's been doing so for the last hour and 46 minutes. Is she coming into view for us? I'm not entirely
she's just
sure.
Outside the breakwater from the marina, from the backdrop. We should have her.
Should have her in view very soon. So we're basically switching from between the screens and what we can see outside of our window. We're just facing the finish line, and the big open view onto the lake.
Yes, and there's an amazing amount of people that are coming in. There's so many people, so many amazing athletes and people that are coming in. You could just see out there how many people. And by the way, there's a lot of spectators here on the shoreline that I would like to point out. It is a really great turnout overall. Local people coming down here enjoying the sport of stand-up paddling and cheering. Fiona is keeping up the pace, 8 kilometers an hour from 8.1, 8.4. That's fast. For that long of a distance.
It is fast, and she's finishing super strong, and it doesn't look like Esperanza will be able to make a comeback. And same thing for April Zeal. April Zeal who finished 2019 second in the APP World Tour behind Seychelles, and
past the
Anna Czirski, the Swiss.
Yeah,
and Laura Ketglas from Spain, absolutely. But I think they're all rubbing shoulders basically at the moment, given the time difference between each of these athletes. Basically, they're in the same second, so they're basically going back and forth. There is definitely going to be a big battle for the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th position, and it's all going to happen soon under our eyes, while Fiona is flying away, marching out towards victory, her first world title potentially, if nothing serious happens in the next few minutes. And that shouldn't be the case, and it's a good opportunity to say hi to the whole Wild family back in Oregon. They're like super active in the SUP community in Hood River, and Fiona is teaching kids a lot of her time, waking up very early. She's got a very serious program for those kids in Hood River, waking them up at 6 o'clock and training super early. She's very, very determined, and she basically took on a program following the death of Steve Gates, who's another very, very prominent figure of the windsurf and stand-up paddle scene in Hood River, the former owner of Big Winds, which is a big shop in Hood River. I really recommend for you to go and check out this place if you haven't. This is an absolutely beautiful spot, and Fiona Wilde has got a very prominent place in that community. She's really well respected over there, and she's just a fun girl and humble girl. Who's very, very generous with the local kids.
We worked hard with G2 on the first lap, and then on the second lap we just tried to keep.
And she's gonna get a world title today.
She is. Yes, we are. Are we brave enough to call this? Yes, we are. You just were. And with meterage distances like this and this little time to go, I think we are on the safe side here. And I think Fiona probably knows too. As she is passing more people on her side.
If she keeps that pace, she sure is going to get what she came for, the world title. Let's have a little reminder of her full sports CV, shall we? 2016 SUP Women's Racing World Champion, 2019 Euro Tour Women's Champion, 4-time Vice World Champion, SUP Surfing, 7-time Gorge Paddle Challenge Champion, 2018 PPG Distance Race Champion, 2019 Nautic Paris Crossing Champion, 2019 Sunset Beach World Cup Surfing Champion, 2-time SUP Connect Woman of the Year, 2014 Breakthrough Performance SUP Awards, 2014 PWA Youth Wave Sailing World Champion. Let's remind ourselves that Fiona Wilde is a windsurfer before she is a SUP racer, 3-time Mercedes-Benz World Cup champion, 2-time Vendée Gloire champion, US Sailing Olympic Development Program member, and AWSI Windsurfer of the Year in 2013. And she's going to add a very big accolade to her CV today in the last meters of the race.
Közben a kivetítőn láthatjuk a hölgyek próbálkozta már továbbra is várni.
Fiona Wilde still very active in her stroke, right? You can see a lot of frequency in her movements. Obviously, there's all the nerves kicking in the last 100 meters. You can actually visualize the victory, and you don't want that to go away. So
guys are like,
and she's passing the guy on the side there who's paddling half a distance, if I'm not mistaken, on the junior or some man class there, and she's coming off of 17.25 kilometers, and look at her cadence. Look at that cadence.
I saw her doing a little run this morning, a little warm-up run, very focused, with her earbuds in her ears, and yeah, this is her big day, and it might not be the last medal that she gets today.
We have technicals and sprints coming.
Absolutely, she looked really fine in both events yesterday. Which reminds me that this afternoon we will be super busy with the rest of the sprints, not all the way to the finish, not all the way to the finals. We've got the heats for the open men and women.
She's not doing sprint. Yes,
Fiona
I just have to correct that.
Okay, so Fiona's not doing the sprints, but April Zeal is definitely. And this afternoon we've got a busy program with the sprints for the Master 50 plus, the juniors, and basically all the way to the quarterfinals, and then we will have the semi-finals for the open men and women, as well as the rest of the categories. So busy afternoon in a much faster pace and environment. Obviously, it's all going to happen a lot closer to the promenade here, and it's going to be a great show. Some great names, and we're going to see a bit of Connor Baxter action, the choke stroke into play, as well as Claudio Nica that we really look forward to seeing, and some other guys who were not fit for the long distance and decided to prepare for the sprints and or the technical race instead. Actually, as we are progressing into this sport, don't you think that we are seeing a choice into the events? I mean, usually, 5 years ago, any athlete would show up at all three events. 99% of all the athletes. Now, it looks like with the introduction of the 200-meter sprints, you obviously add a new component into the game, and it looks like athletes are starting to specialize themselves a lot more between all three events.
People start recognizing their strength, and they want to compete in where they have a chance to medal. And I can also imagine if you have done 10 years in your back of doing long distance, there might be a chance that you might be a little bit over it. You might lack that motivation to go train, and you just want to keep those short cracking races going rather than going out on an 18-kilometer kind of grind. How do you girls feel about this? You're the competitors around here. I can talk of 18 kilometers. I don't have this experience.
Yeah, I think it's very personal. Like it depends of the athlete, and yeah, some of them are super polyvalent. Like they are strong in everything. Like the example of T2 and Fiona as well. She's very strong on the tech. And like today, it's super hard to do the distance race on the morning and to do the sprint on the afternoon because
that's tough.
The distance costs you a lot of energy. So.
But look, we have T2.
Esperanza.
We're going to see T2 sprinting, and we're going to see him in the tech race. And same thing with Noik. So the Gagu again here.
Yeah, Esperanza is fighting very well.
We're still in second position.
Yeah.
Oh, looks like April Zilk has dropped in the rankings. She was in third position,
yeah,
but
maybe it's a draft.
Maybe
it's a pack. But let's see, we haven't seen
but she
the
definitely had
girl.
some lead over the rest of the girls. Let's see what's going on our little
Wow,
stats.
nice image of you. This lake is nice, with all the sailing boats.
So Anabela Prioste from Portugal is confirming third position right now. She's got a 10-meter lead over Anna Czirski. Laura Ketglas is behind Anna, and April Zilk has lost 50.
Yeah, it's gonna be an exciting sprint at the end of the race.
Meters. April Zilk, who was in third position until
behind.
now, she's just fell behind, and yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if she manages to recover in the last few hundred meters of this event. But Anabela Prioste, obviously a newcomer on the international SUP racing, the national long distance champion in Portugal. Anabela is currently in third position, attacking hard.
And third and fourth, I don't think that has been spoken yet either, because Anna Czirki is just a little bit under 10 meters behind the third place, Prioste. So I would love to see a little shootout for that podium place there, which would be an amazing accomplishment for the young Swiss that is not far from the junior class.
You are Swiss and I live in Portugal, so
okay,
Anabela.
We do not see too often a Swiss flag in an ocean kind of sport. So that's why. But
Anna is getting better always. She spent some winters, not winters, but some weeks. We spent together in Fuerteventura, training waves, and there are amazing conditions to train. So she's getting always better. Yeah, because she's improving in the ocean. No?
Very cool to hear.
What else can you tell us about her, Suzak? What else can you tell us about Annabella? Because we don't really know this girl. How old is she?
I don't know her personally, but I know that she was racing in some Spanish championships sometime, I think maybe, and she was winning all the Portuguese championships, the last ones. She was riding with RD before, and now she gets starboard now, and she's doing really well. She have I think 2 or 3 kids. I don't know how old she is, but she have kids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's a super mommy. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Annabella Prioste, yeah. And,
Wow.
I'm surprised too because I didn't expect it. So it's really good that she is there too. So
All right.
nice.
Annabella
Prioste. Yes.
Perfect. Thank you, Suzak, for some
You're welcome.
some extra insights. This is a new name as far as I'm concerned, and she might get a medal today. Esperanza Barrera seems out of reach with being right now 700 meters 800 meters away from her, but Esperanza is coming back on Fiona. There's only 84 meters of distance between Fiona Wilde and Esperanza. So is Esperanza
Thank you for your participation and
catching up with Fiona?
enjoy.
That would be obviously a huge upset after everything we've just announced. But,
yes.
But you know, that's the beauty of the sport, isn't it?
Yes.
So
I'd love to see a big shot where we see everybody apart from each other.
Okay, the distance is now 87 meters, so it looks like Fiona is still very strong. We see Esperanza right now on the screen, so 98 meters and actually losing ground by the second. She was only 80 meters behind Fiona only 20 seconds ago, so she's definitely losing some ground, and that could well be because Fiona is grinding away just like she has been for the past 2 hours and 1 minute 42 seconds now into the race. And Fiona Wilde, who took the best start, who took the lead very, very early, has managed to maintain that lead over a very, very strong field of international competitors, with Esperanza Barreras in second, potentially Annabella Prioste from Portugal in third, also April Zilg in there. Be very interesting to see why April dropped in the rankings. She looked very, very strong, but obviously this is a very long distance. 18.5 kilometers, so and we know April is a very, very strong sprinter, and she told me yesterday that she was really, really preparing for that, so I look forward to seeing what she does this afternoon in the semis on the sprints, but the race is not over yet. We still have a few minutes to go before Fiona Wilde reaches the finish line for potentially her first ICF SUP World Champion title.
There she is on the last stretch.
Okay, we can see her outside of our window right now. She's got 400 meters to go, roughly 200 meters before she reaches the last buoy that she's going to have to keep on her left hand side, and then it will be a 200-meter stretch of water just to finish off in front of us at that red, between those two red buoys, marking the finish line of this 18.5 kilometer race here in Balatonfüred, Hungary. Fiona Wilde about to add a huge accolade around her neck, and that's a world title in the long distance. She's been looking very, very strong, very, very fit over the past 2 months, ever since she got out of the USA to come to Europe on her first European trip back in June, winning pretty much everything in Europe, some French national events, some Euro Tour events. Maybe losing one race to Esperanza. I'm not entirely sure about that, actually.
I think you're right about that. I got that somewhere. I think it was in Switzerland.
In Switzerland, possibly.
I think I'm gonna have that for you guys here in a minute.
And also driving around Europe on her own in a rental car, crossing 5 or 6 countries, something that we hardly do ourselves. And very brave girl on her own, crossing borders and in new countries for her. Here she comes, Fiona White. Only 100 meters to go for Fiona. We're all cheering for you. Come on, Fiona.
Here she is.
We're with you. You've done the job. All you have to do is go all the way to the finish line. 80 meters to go for Fiona White.
And here she is digging in so hard.
Huge champion from Hood River, Oregon, who's been fighting diabetes type 1 for the last few years. That hasn't stopped her from being one of the top stand-up paddlers, and today the best SUP racer in this beautiful long distance race, 18 kilometers, and she's done it.
Congrats.
Fiona White is crossing in first position. Fiona White, your world champion, ICF world champion, Fiona White, raising
Fiona White.
Very well done.
arms.
States of America.
What an achievement for Fiona White. The Starboard Dream Team member has just reached the finish line. And she is your world champion now. Who's coming second? Esperanza Barreras is now crossing the line. Esperanza from Spain. There's been a big rivalry between those two ladies in the past 2 months, because they met quite a lot at different events, and Fiona White once again has got the upper hand in the SUP race against Esperanza Barreras, who made an appearance on the international SUP race scene in 2018, 2019, and she won straight away a world title. She wasn't at the ICF in Qingdao, Esperanza. But so it's her first participation in an ICF World Championship, and she's got a silver medal around her neck in the long distance, and there's probably more to come for Esperanza as well as for Fiona. Fiona is going to show up in the technical race later on this weekend, and the big fight for position 3 now, Mike. So we saw
coming up, yes. They were within 10 meters from each other, so that's maybe a board length and a half, and 2 board lengths. Well, maybe 3 board lengths. But I would love to see a sprint finish here in front of us for that podium.
Right, it's all going to happen very soon.
Bring it on, girls.
With Annabella Prioste in 3rd position right now. Virtually, she's got a 15 to 20 meter lead over Laura Ketglas right now. Anna Chirski in 5th position. All of that is virtual, with April Zilg in just behind Anna. So yes, the fight for the podium is still on between those ladies. And we're going to...
incredible. You took it out so hard. What a race for you.
Big hug between Dani and Julia.
That was, I had two game plans, and the second one came into play, and so I just went with it, and oh my goodness, I'm so happy just to put on a performance like that. You know, it was a long race, it was not easy, so many chalk, a lot of water going everywhere, so many people, but I'm super happy with the way I paddled today and the way I handled my blood sugar out there, and it's just, yeah, this is amazing. amazing. I'm so happy.
So brave. I mean, you went out by yourself very early.
Yeah.
Is that hard when you're out there on your own?
Yes. Yeah, it's really challenging because it's hard to get in a rhythm. You know, you don't know how far back somebody is behind you. You know, you don't know exactly like, okay, am I pushing hard, but do I need to push harder, kind of a thing. So it was just a lot of mental, like, come on, you can do it. You know, I always talk with my dad before these races, and you know, he said for this one was just to never give up. And it's so true. It's just like when you have something and you really, really, really want to do it, just never give up. So when I got a gap, I was just like, okay, here we go. I'm not giving up until I cross that finish line. So.
In our first World Championships, you got a couple of minor medals. What does this mean now to be actually a world champion?
This is incredible. You know, in China I came away with 2/3, and that was good. But you know, this one I really, really wanted it. So I took the time. I came here early. I trained every single day on the water, on the land, just getting myself prepared for it. And yeah, I would say that I've never prepared myself quite as well for a race, and to go out and do that is just like, you know, it just shows. When you put your mind to something, you can go out and do it. So I'm incredibly proud to win a world title.
And we have the third girl coming.
Yeah.
And just finally, a lot of people watching might not realise that you do struggle with blood sugar. You've got, was that difficult to manage? And you said yesterday the last couple of kilometres might be hard. How was it?
Yeah, I have type 1 diabetes, and I've had type 1 since I was 18. So I've been learning how to manage that for 6 years now.
She's a Russian.
And every single day it's something different. You know, I kind of describe it as like shooting a dart at a target with a blindfold on. You know, like you can try and do your best to try and control it, but at the end of the day, you know, it's adrenaline plays so many different factors into it. And so I was a bit up and down. I started off super steady, adrenaline kicked in, went high, started dropping, made sure I eat. I ate plenty. I pretty much drank 2 liters of water during that race, and ate, you know, half of a bar, protein bar, and quite a few gummies. So it's just about knowing what the body's doing and just keeping going, and you know, mentally, don't stop. Just don't give up.
What a great inspiration for so many people watching today. Congratulations, Fiona. You're a fantastic world champion. We're so excited that you've got the title today. Well done.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much to my family back home. I know it's like 2 or 3 in the morning, and they're all up watching right now. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. This goes out to absolutely everybody that helps me get on the water, because I might be the one putting the paddle on the water, but I have a massive team and family behind me. And one other shout out to Starboard. Thank you so much for believing me and supporting me through all of it. So, woo-hoo.
All right, what an incredible achievement! Incredible achievement by Fiona Wild here. While she was talking, the rest of the podium arrived, and a bit of an upset. We think that Elena Prokhorova crossed the finish line in 3rd position. The only thing we might have not known that before is that she might not have won a GPS tracker with us, but this is to be confirmed.
That would be crazy.
Elena Prokhorova might have crossed the finish line in 3rd position, followed by Anabela Prioste from Portugal and Anna Czerski from Switzerland. So that is your virtual to be confirmed, and if someone in the Obi van has got some confirmation of that, that would be amazing, because then I could announce that officially. But from the look of the what happened on the finish line a few seconds ago, Elena Prokhorova from Russia crossed the line in 3rd position, followed by Anabela Prioste and Anna Czerski. It is unlikely that Elena Prokhorova is in another division, right? She's not 40 plus. So it's very likely that she was not given a GPS tracker, or was not wearing a GPS tracker, which until now would have allowed us to know where she was standing in the race, and we didn't see her on the screen. So what a surprise on the finish line. I'm waiting for the people in the Obi van helping us with this great production to confirm that. But wow, that means a Russian.
That's a dark horse if there ever was one.
On the top world open women podium. That sounds like a first, the girls. Don't you think?
Absolutely.
It's the first session like doing a podium on a SUP, like on international, world championship, and even on an international.
Well, now we've got the second and the third place getters from the women's race. Tough race out there, long race. How was it?
Really long and really technical race because there was a lot of choppy parts, so really difficult to get the rhythm, but I like this kind of conditions, so good.
You know,
Fiona was out by herself very early. What were you thinking when she took an early lead like that?
I've been competing with her like in some races this year, and sometimes I go through knowing her, so I knew that at the end maybe I could make the gap shorter. I did it, but not enough. She's really strong, so maybe next time.
Surprise bronze, because you surprised a lot of people today coming third. How do you feel in your race today?
I feel nice, thank you, but usually I prepare to the long distances, and I was preparing exactly to this World Championships. In Russia, everybody knows me because I'm a Russian champion for the 4 years, but I wasn't able to participate in international competitions because of the pandemic. Maybe 2 years ago, I participated in Euro Tour, I was third, and now, of course, I was specially prepared on the Black Sea with some kind of similar conditions, and it was not easy, of course, but it was hard, and it's very hard to fight against 7 kilograms. The board, I have 11, so it's like 4 kilograms difference, but it was very nice. I feel great. It was tough, but I like the waves. Unfortunately, I prepared on the flat water, but I do 2 or 3 training camps a year on the sea, so it's like more or less okay for me.
Certainly did a great race today, both of you. Congratulations. Second and third in the World Championships. That's a pretty good effort. Well done.
Or do you do any other sports?
They're very strong.
You too.
Thank you.
Compete in a bit of stand-up surfing as well, and
Congratulations to Esperanza and Elena on their silver and bronze medal. While they were being interviewed, in 6th position arrived Yona Rivet, followed by Erika Reville, two French girls. What an incredible story. Elena Prokhorova, not on our screens, not on the GPS tracker, and showing up in 3rd position at the very last minute. Obviously, she's done the efforts to get there. We saw a glimpse of her at the very beginning, and she was definitely in a good position, rubbing shoulders with April Zilk. And she, just like she was saying in the interview, she's been training specifically for that long distance. And it's, you know what? It's a great feeling to see those new faces, 3 new faces in the top 5 of such a big race. You know, it's I'm talking about Anabela Prioste from Portugal, finished 4th. Obviously Elena Prokhorova from Russia, and Anna Chirski, who's been racing for a little bit more, but basically coming at a stage. She's what, 16? At a stage where now the muscles are coming in, and the experience as well. And Anna Chirski has got a top 5 ranking now in a World Championship, so that's absolutely amazing for the young Swiss girl, putting Swiss on Switzerland on the SUP race. You must be proud, Mike.
I'm very happy to see her. The first time I met her, she was 15 years old, and she won the tech race of the girls 15 through 17 at the PPGs of 2018. So that'll make her close to 18 years old, if not 19, depending on when her birthday was. So yes, there are more new names, which is so exciting. And I mean, like the Russian is like, if there was ever a dark horse, then that's. I mean, she came literally out of the dark.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I will remember her for this moment, for the rest of my life. There is no question to ask.
I'm happy we mentioned that girl's name at the beginning of the race, as one of the potential dark horses among the list of potential 10 to 12 contenders for the podium, and she's definitely in there. looking very, very, very strong on that Sonova board. It's just the job is for us to find out who she is now. Obviously, she's got her Instagram, as I said earlier, her Instagram boasts of 22 gold medals, I think, and but I'm not so sure in what sport, as I was saying earlier on. I have the feeling that she's got some sort of canoe, maybe marathon canoe background, but while Mike is already on the case.
Yeah, we're going to have to find that out.
Looking on Instagram and trying to figure out who is this dark horse, Elena Prokhorova.
Well, I hate to say it, but she's got 14.9 thousand followers, so she can't be. Evidently, she's not that dark to many other people.
Obviously, but
she is canoe, dragon, and SUP athlete. So with 14.9, and she's got at least one more follower just now because I just had to click on her account. So yes, we will, and I'm pretty sure that wasn't the last that we heard of her. And once the borders will open more and people can travel more freely, I am pretty sure that girl will not be the last that we have heard of her.
And Fanny Tessier from France is just crossing the line in 9th position. Fanny from the southwest of France, from near Ostegor, the Land area. 9th position for Fanny, who just arriving just behind two other French girls, and that's Yona Rivet and Erika Reville. We also need to figure out who that Erika Reville is. I met her once in Vendée Glisse, I believe. She showed up with the Spanish crew, a big Spanish crew, and yeah, very shy and very keeping to herself, and not really sharing too much information. And because she was part of the Spanish crew, she was definitely looked very embedded in that Spanish environment. So I thought at first that she was a Spanish citizen, and no, she's French. She's just been living in the Canaries for a long time, training with Oscar Ruiz and lots of other guys, Rafael Sirvent and many more, Izatsun Martin and many more young athletes. But she represents France. Erika Reville arriving in 8th position, sorry. So there's a trio occupying spots 7, 8, and 9. That's Yona Rivet, Erika Reville, and Fanny Tessier. And Petronella,
she just crossed the finish
Massen
line.
has just crossed the finish line on the Mistral board. Another athlete now arriving, and that's Izatsun Martin that I've just mentioned, and Holly Pye from England, now in 10, 11, 12 position. And from Hungary, Miss Horvat arriving in 13th. So Holly Pye, I know there's a big community of SUP racers in the UK. This is an opportunity to say hi to Sarah, in charge of SUP Junkie. Very active on the SUP racing scene over there, in charge partly of the GB National SUP Series. Very, very busy SUP racing scene over there. And a few champions coming out of England, like Blue Huber, Holly Pye, Ben Pye, and some older guys as well. But yeah, very active community over there. Some great races as well. Some great races in lots of different places all over the country. The Great Glen race is actually taking place next weekend, organized by Joanna Hamilton Vale, another prominent figure in the UK, on the UK SUP racing scene. She lives in Australia though. She has been for the past 2 years, and she's a SUP racer herself, Joanna. She's watching us. Titouan Pouillot, world champion today. What an achievement from Titouan, who's managed to stay in the lead from the very, very start. His NSP board showed how fast it was from the very, very beginning. Noé Garriou was with him all the way. Those two friends, you've got the mentor and the student here, but more than that, now they are real good friends. They've been traveling companions as well as paddling companions for many years. And here they are shouting, Kagu, Kagu, Kagu. Elena Prokhorova did create a bit of an upset, showing up in third position in the women's open division. Esperanza Barreras ended up second, first silver medal in the ICF, in an ICF stand-up paddle world championship for the Spanish champion Esperanza, and Fiona Wilde, of course, crossing the line in first position. Kissing her arm, kissing her arm.
She's like, you did it.
I missed that. Yeah, you know. Thank you, my home.
Like,
thank you very much. You know, you've been very helpful. Fiona, what an incredible character. And Elena Prokhorova, wow, making a huge debut on the international SUP racing scene. This is definitely not the last that we're going to see of her. She's young. She's got some strong canoe and dragon boat background, and she's now very, very serious in SUP racing. I remember in an interview with Andre Crater. Where is he? Has he taken part? I am not so sure.
But let me look at the roster here.
But in an interview with Andre Crater,
he wasn't long distance.
I'm asking him, one of the questions was, tell me who's actually currently strong in Russia.
Yeah.
And that was a year and a half ago, and he did mention her name. Hence why I put her on my list of potential dark horses. But she was more of that today. Ended up on the podium with a beautiful bronze medal around her neck. A first for a Russian athlete.
I had Natalia Novotnikaya on my list. I was wrong, people. And this is something that I've kind of like was hoping to see, that we're gonna see more people now coming out of Eastern Europe and really kind of creating an upset. And I think we've seen the first one, not where personally I have expected it. I thought we're going to be seeing this more with the men, but of course the day is far from over, the competition is far from over. So, but there you have it. The demographics are changing, and I am sure in the next few years we will see a shift in the dominance.
First of all, congratulations.
Yeah, and we have more paddlers crossing the line here. There is still quite a few people out there. If you look far into the horizon, we see still there is a lot of people.
By the way, Mike, you were not wrong about Natalia Novitskaya. She's definitely one of the best athletes, but I just don't know if she actually signed up for the long distance today. I'm not so sure about that, but she's definitely one of the top athletes.
Yeah,
and
she was in Prague just recently. She was on the podium, and according to my roster here, I have her here on the long distance. She signed up for sprint, technical, and long distance, according to the list that I was able to export just as the entry list actually closed on the Balaton2021.com website. But there are a lot of people to keep track of, I have to admit.
Yeah, you know what? I'd be very interested to know who won the 40+ men and women. I saw Olivier Dario-Merlou from France crossing the line, but because there were so many things happening on our screen and in front of us with all the divisions mixed together, and I wasn't sure if he was in first position, but Olivier Dario-Merlou was definitely one of the contender for this event. He's a very, very strong paddler from the southwest of France. We have happened to train together sometimes as well.
Yeah.
He's won the SUP 11 CD Tour non-stop 3 years ago. So 204 kilometers all the way without stopping, and in 24 hours and 20-something minutes. Actually a record that has been beaten recently by a Dutch guy, Nick van der Nickel, I think. That's his name. Chris Parker from SUP Racer wrote a good story about it. Just check out supracer.com to find the full story about this. But he's got a new record on the SUP 11 City Tour, non-stop course under 24 hours.
Amazing.
And
simply amazing.
And yeah, so back to Olivier Dario-Merlu. He trains really hard. He's a 4-5 Pro team manager now, very, very active with this brand. A brand that went from being a Thailand brand to a Latvia brand. Recently being bought by Presto, a canoe maker, a canoe manufacturer.
Okay.
All right.
Very interesting knowledge you're sharing.
Okay,
with
so
us,
Olivier Dario-Merlu is first. Thank you, Christophe Morat, for the information. Olivier Dario-Merlu is in first position. Christophe Morat, if you could give me more information on the maybe men's podium, that'd be amazing. But wow, what an achievement, Olivier. Well, he's going to be happy on the way back. We're traveling back together. This is what he came for, actually. So I will definitely celebrate that back in the southwest of France with Olivier on a Holo 4-5 Pro board. All right, more athletes coming in. All right.
Well, if you look out at sea there, at lake, pardon me, there are definitely, there's definitely some stragglers there. Even behind the breakwater getting out of our sight, there's still people are coming in.
All right.
And that's kind of like the nature with the. Well.
All right. Well, on these beautiful images of these emerald green colors, typical of Lake Balaton in Balatonfüred, Hungary, on day 2 of the 2021 ICF SUP World Championships. We're probably going to wrap it up right now because we've got so much action happening this afternoon and tomorrow and Sunday, and you're going to hear a lot more of us starting at 2 this afternoon with the 200-meter sprints for all the categories and the semis in the sprints for the open men and women. That's obviously something that we are really, really excited, Mike and myself, about.
I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it. We're going to have that full action right in front of us.
Okay, so wherever you're watching from, wherever you're watching on, whether it's a YouTube link, a Facebook link, make sure you share as much as possible your player, just because we want to reach out as many people as possible on the planet and just try and ignite some want from people who are wondering what this crazy sport is about. And we look forward to seeing you all on the water, but speak to you this afternoon for the sprints. Bye-bye.
Aloha.
visszavesztés. Romlásnál próbáljuk elkerülni, hogy a deszkára essünk, mert az okozza a legnagyobb sérülést. Ez legtöbbször akkor következik be, amikor a deszka nekiütközik valaminek, és a lendület miatt előre esünk. A SUP szélébe kapaszkodva húzzuk fel magunkat a deszkára. Könnyebb a dolgunk, ha a testünk nem függőleges, hanem közel vízszintes pozícióban lebeg. Ha felhassaltunk a deszkára, akkor már fel tudunk térdelni, majd állni. Leszálláskor nem szerencsés a vízbe ugrani. Biztonságosabb lassan visszaereszkedni és a talajt kitapogatva lehuppanni a deszkáról. Az állvaevezés egy olyan természethez kötődő vízisport, amely teljesen új perspektívákat nyit meg. Nem csupán nagyszerű testmozgás, de meditatív, relaxáló hatású kikapcsolódás is egyben. Próbáld ki te is! Magyarország bővelkedik a szapozásra alkalmas vizekben.
This is for iconic design. This is for one-touch charging. This is for luxurious comfort. This is for a new generation. The all-electric EQA by Mercedes EQ.
Valakinek szúrós. Valakinek csípős. De a bubisságát mindenki extrán bírni fogja. Kóstold meg az új, meglepően szénsavas Szentkirályi Extra dúst.
Laci, segítsek? Lefotózzalak?
Nem kell, köszi. Csak bankolok. Nekem így kényelmes.
A Granit Banknál akkor és ott bankolsz, amikor és ahol csak szeretnél. Töltsd le mobil alkalmazásainkat, intézd ügyeidet online, próbáld ki te is a Granit Bankot. Akár selfie számlanyítással is. Granit Bank, a digitális bank.
Nekem meg így kényelmes.